Hello, and welcome to session 15 of the Crossmeet Campaign. Previously in Kulthania, our heroes were searching for an elf named Firel, a companion of Markel and Tam, who were getting a little concerned that even though it wasn't unusual for Firel to be away from town for extended periods, he's been gone for a while. So they headed to Bryce. It was actually 2 days prior that they headed south to Bryce, and you guys stayed in town and searched Firel's house. You found a few spoiled goods inside. You found a painting that had a word written upon it, which turned out to be Elven, and this led you to a hollow space in the floorboard where you found a simple map with a few Elven symbols on it. Before you left town, Cy Vipton, the would-be victim of an assassination attempt, recovered and stayed in Crossmeet just long enough to thank you before departing on a ship that would take him far away from town. And before we left, he mentioned, at least to Jodat, that the warning he issued was not for Fae, but for Fagrim. And through Ivan, you learned that he knows of someone named Egan Fagrim, who is away from town at the moment on a ship, and will be back in a few days. There was also a little tete-a-tete with Evelov, who admitted that the poison used in the assassination attempt was probably sold by him, and he seemed to be not remorseful about that at all. Eventually, you followed Firel's map into the southern part of the colossal expanse, and you spent most of the day traveling. And at a place in a bit of a valley where hills become mountains, you found a magically hidden entrance. There was illusion magic. It was also covered by boulders, one of which appears to have been moved relatively recently. You followed this in, and you found an area which seemed empty but warmer than it should be, considering you're under some pretty cold mountains and getting into the snow-capped areas. Through this room, it led you to a very narrow tunnel, which is partially submerged. You waded through some actually room temperature water and fought a whole bunch of sturges, many of which now lie dead, floating around you. So 3 of you are in chest-deep water, and Valmera is in neck-deep water in this narrow passageway. Who's at the front?
Yeah. Not me.
You are?
Yeah. I think I even moved ahead a bit. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put up the little map showing where you're at. You're in this chest-deep water, which is surprisingly room temperature. And just tell us what you're doing, thinking, something.
All right. So Torun is... We're still in the place where we just defeated the Sturges, correct? Their bodies kind of floating in the water.
Sturges. Some of them got splatted, but some are just dead and mushed.
So if I recall from the last session, Torun is currently walking ahead, kind of snapping the necks of the sleeping Sturges that Grim put to sleep.
Yeah, you've killed them all.
And how odd this place is. The temperature of the room and stuff, he hasn't really connected that is weird. The only weird thing about this was the weird illusionary entranceway that concealed it. Right now he's hoping there's something that will pose more of a challenge.
And who is behind you?
I think it was Jodat or Grim.
I think I was right behind. I think I was second.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go next. So you're in this chest-deep, warm water. There's a bunch of sturges floating around you in a room that's room temperature, or at least a narrow passageway that is.
Yep. So, as far as my thought processes are concerned, I'm really focused on sort of listening to what's going on around me, and I'm definitely far enough out of the water. I'm 6'7", so sort of a tall, lanky individual.
Okay.
And
Comes up to your nipples.
yeah, yeah. How deep is the water?
It's chest. It's about 4 feet deep.
Okay.
At this point.
All right. But in any case, yeah, I'm trying to pay a lot of attention to, sound mainly, and I have my my weasel sort of up around my neck at this point, just like kind of just under the collar, which is sort of turned up, and he's sort of sniffing ahead.
He's also, you get an empathic sense that he's a bit nervous. He doesn't like this being, in this deep of water, and so he's clinging to your hair, perhaps, or your collar,
Yeah.
a little bit more firmly than he normally might.
Yeah. Hey, I am with him there on that. Neither of us are happy with the situation or being here.
You don't smell much in the air. The water doesn't seem terribly dirty. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot. There isn't a lot of dust or dirt in the air. The air doesn't smell particularly old or unfresh or anything like that. I think, Mara, I believe you were third in line, and you're pretty much up to your neck, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this only the head is above water. And she's obviously drenched and has a big gashing wound in her forehead where the sturge pierced the hole, and she's also pretty annoyed and pissed with the whole situation, and is half swimming, half wading to the water to get out of it, pushing Grim if he's in front of her. Move it, big guy.
What is it in particular you're pissed with? The immediate situation of the water, or being up to your neck in water, or is there more to it than that?
She was pierced in the head, and now she's. I mean, there's about 8 inches left of her, so she wants out of this.
Okay. So coming up behind you is a fairly tall half-orc, Jaudet. Want to tell us just whatever, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, whatever you want.
I'm feeling wet, really wet, which is very unusual from what I used to. And Judd is still reeling a little bit from the fight with the Sturges and the flashback to the caravan, and so he's just very quietly, almost sulking in his thoughts as he's trudging along through this water. Once again, wondering why in the world we do what we do. This northern land is a very dangerous place.
Some of your adventures in the south weren't all that safe either.
Been here 9 days, and I mean, come on, like, go north. They said it'll be fun. They said.
Okay, so I believe Torun, your shield is lit up, or your necklace is lit up.
A necklace, yeah.
From Grim, something like that.
Yeah,
that's what's providing the light. Okay. So you've got this little train of the 4 of you, and this headlight. It's actually been 17 days.
How many days?
You arrived on the night of the 10th, and it's currently the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck. So yeah, you're at the head of this little train. You're bobbing through the water. You're passing all these sturges, and as you kind of maybe half walk, half bob your way forward through the water, you realize that the ground is sloping downward. but the water level is staying. So it's getting deeper.
Okay.
Does everyone know how to swim? I turn around and mainly look at Jordan and Balmera.
I can just imagine this little dark tunnel. The light just whirls around like.
No. Why? Can we just get out of this water? Move.
Yes. Well, it's getting deeper.
Okay, well, clearly the elf is dead. Let's go back.
No.
I don't know if you noticed it, but I can't go much deeper.
Does the ceiling also begin to pitch downward, or?
Not really, but it's mostly, remember, this is mostly a natural cavern that has just been aided in parts to be widened. You do see occasional markings of tool work here.
Okay.
But not frequent, just here and there where needed to widen the gap. No, the tunnel, maybe it seems to be getting taller, like it just, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
The distance between the floor and the ceiling is just increasing.
All right. Well, what I look back at poor Belmera here, and and realizing that she's probably like as dense as a rock and will probably just sink and not actually float. I turn back and say, look, just take a step back for a second here, and up in the air, like above, just slightly above the water, and in front of her, I do this kind of twirling motion really fast, and you see this this wooden sort of this long wooden barrel appear. It's basically it's kind of like maybe 3 feet long, closed off at the ends, and it's sealed with air inside. It's kind of like splash onto the water.
Would you say that this is a floating device?
Yeah, so
it is a
flotation
device. It is.
So the barrel, it's narrow walls, but the barrel fits. It occasionally might bump against the rock wall, but otherwise, you can use it as a to hang on to.
My point is to make almost make it like a long tube of wood. It's my conjuration thing, so I can basically fashion almost almost anything simple. So basically, but I just wanted to just make sure it was airtight and kind of long and slender. If I knew what it was, I would think maybe more like a long piece of bamboo, that's kind of hollow inside. But
Yeah, I'm thinking there's drums that are shaped like that too, like types of.
Yeah, but so basically, I was just looking for in Grimm's mind, it would just be like a long, narrow barrel. It's just
Yep.
and it splashes in front of her.
You can use it. You can also, as it gets deeper, you can also sort of moon bounce off the bottom if you'd wanted to, even if you can't. So.
Well, I'm just thinking poor Belmira is just not going to be able to touch bottom, so I figure she'll do better with something to kind of put her arms over and kind of like doggy paddle with. So,
Gotcha.
So yeah, well,
Thanks.
If it lasts for more than an hour, I'll see if I can put something better together. I'm not quite strong enough to fashion us a boat. That would be nice, but oh well.
Oh well.
An awful narrow boat too.
That's okay.
Let's.
I will grab
Are you
hold.
going? Sorry, go ahead.
I'll grab hold of the barrel that floats.
So, are you going to be alright with that flotation device? Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Onward then. I turn around and.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll press
so
on.
you keep pushing your way through this water, Talroon. It gets deeper and deeper. Now it's at the point where you're either going to have to sort of bounce, walk, like under, up, or swim. It's your call.
Yeah, I'll swim.
Okay. So you start swimming through this water. Jadette behind you. You can swim, Jadette? I'm going to assume you can swim. Tell me if it's not true.
I can.
Okay, good enough. So you guys are swimming through the water. You feel weeds and grass at your feet, so as if it's growing from underneath, like somewhere below.
All right.
All right. So you continue to swim ahead, and it's quiet. There's just this little bit of light. Maybe your necklace is floating on the surface of the water, so you've got this sort of little puddle of light moving along all the walls in this narrow cavern as you make your way down.
Ripples of light on the ceiling from the water reflection.
Right, yes, good. So suddenly, three of you, not Balmera, but the other three of you, feel something grabbing at your legs. I'm going to ask everyone to make initiative rolls. Something in the water is grabbing at your legs.
I hope so.
I, of course, don't know this because I got a 1.
Stop it, Balmera.
Not now.
Lucky 13.
Okay. Waiting for my dice here. Oh, 3. All right.
Okay.
What'd you say? Tall room? Short throat?
No, man. Yeah, I got a modified 5.
Okay. Jadette and Balmera?
Whopping 12.
12? 12 beats me. Balmera?
And I have 22.
Okay, so
Apparently, this is a barrel of speed.
And I think Rob froze.
Yeah.
oh no, yeah.
Oh, there you
not
are.
disturbing you.
Dangerous German what?
You there, Rob?
I'm here. Sorry, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you froze a little bit.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So yeah, Balmera, you're unaware that that there's anything, maybe attacking, but maybe you can see concerned looks upon the faces of your companions. But you go first. Nothing is attacking you, or
Well, she's used to her companions having a concerned look on their faces, at least when she's around, so he's not gonna pick up on them.
That's how everyone looks at her.
Yeah, I mean that's in her mind. That's how humans look. So she's not gonna do anything.
okay. So Grim is next. So Grim, you feel something wrapping around one thing wrapping around both your legs. It's snake-like, eel-like,
Okay.
and you're just going on feel, and it seems to be trying to pull you under.
All right.
I'm gonna make an attack. Oh, I don't get to make an attack roll yet. You can feel it trying to do this.
Gotcha. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I kind of lift one hand out of the water while the other one's sort of like moving, and I put it over my head, and I grab my hair and I pull, and you see me stretch out of the water, and even as my head begins to sort of swell and get bigger, and my shoulders get bigger, I'm doing an enlarge spell. So
Okay.
the maximum I could be would be about 13 feet tall, but it says I'll grow as big as the space will allow. So
Right. I'm going to limit you to I'm going to say about 9 feet, just because of the width. You're gonna reach this width before you reach the height.
okay. Well, as long as I can
It's
touch
only
the bottom,
5
that's
feet
the-
wide.
Yeah.
No, you can't touch the bottom. Even if you went to 13 feet, you couldn't touch the bottom, if that helps you.
Oh, okay.
So you definitely grow. You gain all the benefits of growing. You can you can anchor yourself pretty easily, just like with your elbows now. If you wanted, you could wedge yourself in.
Yeah, I'll do that. It also gives me an advantage on strength checks and saving throws.
Of course.
Too, so
Yep.
that will
No
help
problem.
with tangling stuff, So, yeah.
Okay. So you can't see what's tugging at you, but you can feel it. Jawdet, you're next. So similar sensation. You feel something wrapping around your legs, trying to tug you under. It hasn't quite got a tight grip on you yet, though.
Oh, great, cave octopi.
Ha
All right.
Underwater behold.
Underwater what, Rob? What was that?
Beholder.
Yep. If I flip my table on this end and quit, you see it flip on your end? All right. So as it grabs me, my fist will incandescent to light, and I plunge it into the water and start, moving it around, trying to see whatever is grabbing at me.
Okay. So as long as you stick your head in the water, I mean, you can pull this off.
Yes, I was.
No problem. So the water isn't that murky. It's a little bit murky, but not much. From amongst the tall, long blades of grass that are growing up, you can't see the bottom of them, but you can certainly see the top parts of them. You see some thicker vines occasionally that are reaching out. One is wrapped around Grimm's legs, and one is trying to wrap itself around your legs, and there are some more around some other companions' legs. So that's what's doing it.
And are they actively grappling at us, or is it like there's a current in the water and we're becoming tangled?
No, it's definitely not just from any current. The water, in fact, is nearly still. Not like if you were perfectly motionless.
So I burst my head back out of the water, and Grace, it is alive!
Okay, so Torun, I got a 3 on my initiative, so your 5 beats me.
Okay.
You feel something grabbing at each of your legs separately.
So 2 things are grabbing at my legs, and I hear Jawdet scream that the grass is alive, and I turn around in horror, and then I see a giant Grimm.
Now,
what the hell is going on here?
Order.
And I try to pull my knees up and basically acrobatically slip out of their grapple or their attempt.
Okay. You don't have to do that. In other words, that's going to be a reaction you get to do when they make the grapple attempt.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't had their turn yet, so you can attack them freely, and then if they try to grab you, you can then do that as a reaction. You can't escape being grabbed when you're not yet grabbed, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Preemptively escape. I escape their non-grapple.
But
okay.
You can certainly do something else. You can.
Okay. I'm not sure how to fight living grass. I'll go down under the water, and I still have the thing, so presumably I can see it. And if I can, I'll probably try to attack it by, if it's a tendril at the top of the vine, I'll see if I could snap or break it.
Okay. So I want you to make an attack roll to grab a hold of it.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be a nope. This is going to be a pile of nope unless it's a 10.
Nope. No, you need a 12. So you don't succeed in grabbing it. Now it is going to try and grab you. So I have to make 2 attack rolls. Since there's 2 on you, +4. Someday today, the numbers will show up. Oh my god, it's slow. And then, don't think either one of those hits you, does it?
And now what's the modifier?
Oh, +4, sorry, 17.
Yeah, 17 definitely hits.
Okay, so one of them manages to wrap the tendrils around you, and you can feel that it starts to constrict upon you, And you are now. You can now consider yourself grappled.
Okay.
And it starts to hurt your leg, and you're going to take some damage here as soon as it pops up. I'm also breaking out my dice because this thing gets too slow.
If I see you take damage, what does it feel like?
Honestly, like I pressed the roll button like 10 seconds ago. It's crazy.
The 2.
You can take 4 points of damage. It's 2d6. You can take 4 points of constriction damage, and you are now grabbed. One is going to attack Jaded as well. I missed with natural 5. One is going to attack Grim, a natural 50. I'm going to see when 19 is a hit.
Yeah, my
So,
my AC right now is 15. Just so quiet.
Okay. So it grabs you. It constricts you for 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Now you're grabbed, but unless you like will it, like you'd actually you're in no danger of being pulled below the surface. You're big enough that you're like default wedged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to turn sideways to actually facilitate it, you're not. You don't have to worry about being.
Not at the moment, no. I'll pass on that.
Okay. So Balmera, you see in fact Torun's light dips below the water for a second and comes back
probably
up.
not because Grim is in.
Grim gets really big.
Grim has not reached that level of despair yet, despite his name.
Yeah, Grim is in front of me. He's probably gonna block the entire tunnel from so.
We'll never make it.
But I can see the grass tentacles, whatever they are, on Grim, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're probably below the water.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're definitely below the water. You can't see them.
Well, you're hearing us talk about. You heard
Jaded's warning.
Tentacles, yeah. So you probably good idea what's going on.
Okay, I'm gonna.
My super clever grass is alive warning.
I'm gonna stab down with my rapier where the tentacle stuff are.
Okay, if you dip your head below the surface first to look, you can do that. Absolutely, you can do that. But you can't see them when your head's above the surface.
Okay.
You're hanging on to your barrel, so you're gonna have to let go of your barrel to do this.
Hang on, I'm gonna grab one with my left hand on one of Grim's belts, and then I'm gonna let myself go under the water, and then I'm gonna stab it.
Okay. Okay.
I have become a feature of the terrain. I have become a terrain feature.
Just watch out for what tentacles she starts stabbing.
Hey.
That's it.
Fortunately,
you're grabbing a belt, right?
Yeah, fortunately she's behind me, so.
I critical fumble and kill another wizard.
Oh no.
I hit AC 24. I hope that's enough.
Yeah, you need a 12. You need a 12.
It is not.
So which one are you attacking? You can attack. You can attack the one that's on Grim, or one of the ones the one that's on Jaded. But Torun is on the other side of the big Grim, so I'm gonna say you can't attack.
The big Grim.
Probably the one closest to me is the one on Grim, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
Grim.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, Jaded because too.
Maximum damage. So that
Nice.
is 12 points of piercing damage.
Sweet.
Okay, so you take a chunk out of it, but it's still attached.
Anyone who can remember what sneak attack does in 5e?
Adds d6s, right?
Well, if you're a trained rogue.
Yeah. What's the condition on it?
You need to have an ally within 5 feet of you,
Check.
or you need to have advantage on the attack.
Yeah, it's like a sneak attack. Yeah.
Can I assume that Grim will count as an ally within 5 feet?
Yeah.
Grim, you're next.
Then
Right.
it's 10 points more damage.
Nice.
So 22 points of damage in total.
How much damage total?
22?
I'm sorry, it's choppy. Did you say 22?
22. Yeah.
22 kills it. So Grim, you no longer have one wrapped around you. you're second, right? But you can see, well, you know that some are attacking your companions.
Yep. So I quickly glance back and forth. Which one looks in worse shape, Jodad or
You see Torun's head bob
Both of them are flailing
out
in the water.
You see my head bob out of the water. Save me, Giant Grim, and then get pulled back under it.
Save me, Giant Grim.
I'd say there's a hint.
I'm tickled enough by that the new name, which I approve of. You can call me that even when I'm not giant. It'll help with my reputation. So.
Belmar is still hanging onto your belt just because.
Just because she can. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I kind of lower myself so I can see below the water, and I mean, especially Torun must be glowing underwater because he's wearing the glowing amulet, so it's like in this.
As long as you put your head below the water, you can see.
So so what I do is I point towards him, and you see this there's this other illumination, this bright blue illumination, and what you see is this sharp line that goes directly toward the offending grass, and as it does so, you see all these little bits of ice forming along this line, and they begin floating to the surface as it cuts to the water.
Well, that's good to know because I was thinking lightning bolt is a bad idea.
Yeah, I do have shocking grasp. No, I decided against shocking grasp.
AC is 12.
Unless it got really dicey. No, it's Ray of Frost. With a total of 18, which I'm assuming hits.
Yep.
All right. And 6 damage.
You attack one of the ones that's on Jadad's leg, okay? Or Torun's leg, sorry.
Torun's leg.
What was the damage?
16? No, just 6.
6. Okay. So, yeah, you definitely freeze a chunk of it, which snaps off. So, Jadad, I believe you're not grabbed, or you are grabbed? I don't remember, sorry.
No, you rolled a 5 on me.
Right on. Okay. So it's still attempting to grab you, though.
Right. So, Jodad. Ouch. So I submerge under the water with my hand glowing, and there's this burst of air that comes out as this thing grabs me. I willingly let it grab me, and then my light extinguishes. Reason being is I'm casting another spell and obviously can't maintain, But it just there's that terrible moment of soup, glub 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 glub. Light goes out.
They're going crazy.
Does a 12 hits its touch AC, so or the equivalent thereof.
12
melee AC. So it will take. Yay. Wow, 16 plus 8, 24 points of damage.
All right, so you destroy it somehow. I'm not exactly sure how, but
I
just tell
cast
me.
Inflict Wounds. So as it wraps around me, I
Nice.
just place my hands over it, and it just begins to wither as this necrotic energy just crawls down it towards its roots, and so this chunk of vine just comes bobbing to the surface. And then I burst up and breathe because casting underwater, you're like,
You need that breathing.
breathing is good, even for orcs.
Okay, so Talrun, one of these things is grabbing you and trying to pull you beneath the surface. In fact, it's starting to succeed. Now you can make a strength check to break free if you like, or you can make a dex check. It's up to you.
Yeah, is that dex check acrobatics or just dex save or just a dex?
It's technically it's acrobatics or athletics, squirming free or busting free.
Right, yeah, so I'm going to
make
try
an opposing roll.
squirm free of it, and I got a 24.
Yeah, I doubt I. So you break free of the grab, so that counts as
There's
your
my
move
action.
action.
Oh,
As your
okay. I
move
thought it
action.
counted as my action. So,
No, it's your move action, and if you're on ground, you get 5 feet as well.
okay. Didn't realize that. All right. So, even though I'm like, I'm still underwater, I'm just gonna try like punch at it, since trying to grapple
Go
it,
ahead.
it seemed to actually be more slippery than I intended. Okay. That is a 10. Wait, no. That's a 12 and a 10.
12's a hit.
One hit. Hooray, I did something. So I strike it for 8 points of damage.
All right, so you hit the one that was already wounded by Grimm's spell, but it's still trying to pull you under, as well as its companion. And in fact, they're the only two still going, so I'm going to have both of them attack you right now. One succeeds and constricts your leg for 6 points of damage. And again, you start to feel yourself being pulled under.
Rob,
Balmera,
when these things are causing damage, are there thorns on the vine, or is it literally just like a crushing damage from being constricted?
It says constriction in the book. It doesn't say thorns. Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
No, it's a good question because there's different kinds of plants that can do that. Balmera, it's your turn, and you see Torun's head drop below the surface of the water with a whoop.
Okay. When Grim got bigger, did his cloak, his duster coat, did it also got bigger?
Yeah, I'm assuming his clothes expanded.
Yeah. Everything I'm wearing in Karen gets bigger with me. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's not like the Hulk.
Or is it?
Or is it?
Are you wearing purple pants?
He is now.
I'm gonna take a deep breath and lower myself down, and I'm gonna grab the edge of his duster like this, and I'm gonna use my right hand to stab as much as I can get towards the one that is fighting.
Yes. Yes, you can do that.
Mine's dead.
Oh yeah, the one Jod that's fighting is dead. That's correct. Yeah, it's just Torun that's in trouble.
Okay. I don't think I could get to Torun though, can I? If Grim is in the way.
If you want to try and maybe swim under in between Grimm's legs, I'll let you do that.
It's not gonna happen. I can't swim.
And,
Right.
and I'm not.
I'd forgotten.
I'm
Well,
not
I mean, you
allow
could.
that.
I'll shimmy his way down his upper thigh.
I shimmy down on his backside and shimmy up on his. No. I'm just
Shades of Crossmeet.
No.
I'm just gonna hang on. I'm just gonna hang on to Grim and extend my my hand to Jadav if he wants to get out of the water.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute.
50 Shades of Crossmeet. Grim, so what do you want to do? You see Torun drop below the surface of the water.
All right. Well, Boomer better hang on. I'm going to. I'm gonna kind of lean forward, still kind of pushing myself, like pushing my leg against one side, my arm against the other. I'm gonna reach down with my other extremely long arm, and I'm gonna try to grab Torun.
You can grab him, sure.
Yeah,
no problem.
And I'm basically gonna pull him out of the water. Basically,
so that's a tug of war.
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna try to break the grapple by yanking him out of the water. So.
I got you. Okay.
And I get advantage on this roll. So.
Right. Yeah. So Torun, you start to feel your himself. I'll make a roll just for the sake of argument. Well, if you rolled terrible, I got a shot.
I got a 15 max.
I got a 17.
Strength normally. Okay.
I just like a natural 17. I just like it. So you feel like Torun, as you're being pulled in two directions now.
Right. You haven't felt this torn since that ninja girl left your school to go fight for the rival family.
So Jada, you hear a short scream coming from beneath the water as you see Grim try and reach in and pull him out.
All right.
I tried to curse the giant Grim, but it just comes out as blah blah blah.
All right. Well, I will dive back into the water, and right before I do, my fist will, and I'll swim towards the vine and try and stab it underneath the water with a dagger.
Go ahead.
Because
Go ahead.
why not?
Because you can.
All right. Well, I rolled an 18 on the die, so that's good.
Hit.
Daggers are a die 4. Is that correct? I don't.
Yes.
D4. Yep. Plus strength mod.
Actually, it's strength
Or
with
dex.
dex.
It's dex mod. If you, yeah, it's dex mod. It can be dex mod too.
So 1 or 0. Got it.
Hey.
Okay.
It's your call, man.
So 4 points of damage, but I chose the 1,
All right.
not the 0.
So you kill the one that was already wounded twice.
I kill it twice.
Sweet. Yes.
It was already wounded twice. And you.
It regenerates.
All right. So yeah, I bite into it with my tusky orc mouth and pull backwards, and then like almost gangland style, just slit it the vine just underneath water before breaching the surface and trying to breathe again.
All that works, and the vine doesn't taste that bad. It could be made into a salad.
Nice.
Torun, you are still being grabbed, and I need you to make a strength or dex check. Dex save. This is a saving throw.
Okay.
16 is your target number. You need a
I
16 you're free.
I died.
That counts. I think that counts.
Okay.
So you're no longer grabbed. However, it
Wait,
is still
am I-
trying to grab you again.
Am I still grabbed by giant Grim?
Yeah,
I
unless you let go.
Yes. As soon as I feel him let loose, I like lift him out of the water.
Okay. But I am going to give him the opportunity to take a swing first if he wants to.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Sure.
And stay in there.
Okay.
I mean, maybe you
so,
punch it to break free.
Yeah. I probably just squirm around till it just kind of loosens. Then I punch the vines, and then giant
Okay.
Grim lifts me out of the water. So those were both
Okay.
higher than a 12. So
Yep.
5, 8. So that is 13.
Okay, so you definitely do some serious harm to it, and you're pulled free of the water. So most of your body is out of the water, and if you want to tuck your legs up, you can be completely out of the water.
I shout to Jawdat. I shout to Jawdat and Milnera to hang on to me. Climb on.
It is
When have you
your
been
turn,
a
Valera.
giant?
I'm gonna use my turn to hold on to Grim.
Okay. Your barrel is starting to drift further away from you.
Don't worry about it. I
For
can
your
make another one.
flotation device.
I can make another one. Don't worry about it. Right now, I'm your life raft.
Okay, so you're hanging on. Your Balmera is clinging to Grim. Grim, what do you want to do?
Well, basically, I'm just gonna like work my way down through the hall now. Using my bone buoyancy, but using my shoulders and elbows to pull on the hull, just moving out of the area as fast as I can. Just
Okay, so as you're going along, you swim for a good distance, and the water level gradually starts to diminish.
Okay.
Although it seems like the tunnel is actually gets deeper at the same time, and yet the water level is getting lower.
Okay.
Okay.
All
And eventually, it comes to a spot where there's no more water, although it is still a narrow passageway.
Yeah.
And you can see it runs long, long away from you. And again, occasionally you'll see tool marks that have widened it to make it wide enough to be
As soon
passable.
as we get to a point where the water's like 4 feet or shallower, then I just sort of let the spell go and I reduce down to my size.
Balmera is still clinging to your belt.
It doesn't last terribly long anyway, so.
We're going down, but the water is Sinking?
Yes. In other words, the tunnel is descending deeper into the ground, but eventually the water level decreases until it's gone completely.
So in other words, if you were looking at the bottom of the tunnel, it would go down, then up and down. But to us, where the water level goes, it kind of goes up and then down after that. Is that?
Yeah,
Kind
the
of
tunnel is the ceiling is like more or less level for a while, and then it slopes down, and the
Okay.
floor does similarly.
Okay.
But after a while, the water level drops off. So I'm going to say you're at a point where you're in 6 inches of water. You're
Okay.
still in the same single file, and it's still this long, narrow hallway that's been, aided at points to make it slightly wider.
Once we're like in ankle deep water, I just
You're dripping wet there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once we're in ankle deep water, I just take my coat, give it a couple big flaps, and see this gust of air just fling water, bits of mud, little bits of this weed that's still left clinging to me, just lift me off, and just scatters around me, and I just kind of shake like a dog.
Okay.
That's better.
The water, like the air in this room, is tepid, room temperature.
I do feel when I feel the walls, do they feel particularly warm to the touch, or do they feel just like the air temperature, just really tepid?
Yeah. Neither cold nor warm, nor hot.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, Tony,
Torward, you're at the front. You want
Just
to do
just because I'm confused. But Mara has.
Go ahead.
But Mara has stone cunning.
Okay.
So, does he know if this is normal or magic?
Do you know if what is normal or magic?
the temperature difference.
Yeah, but also the way the tunnel behaves with the water disappearing.
That seems normal. In fact, in a few feet, when you get out of the water, you can see that there are cracks in the ground, and it's kind of like you walk through part of a river, an underground river.
Okay.
So the water in the tunnel seems natural, other than, as I said, I mentioned the occasional tool work you see. And the tool work certainly has no aesthetic value. It's merely made to just facilitate passageway. I don't know if the stone cutting... There's nothing magical about the rocks, so I don't know if the stone cutting is going to help you with stuff that's not stone related. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can she tell if it's been? Is this dwarven work or more like human work?
Definitely not. It's not dwarven work. Or if it is, it's very
Quick and
careless, casual. Don't give a fuck dwarven work.
That doesn't exist. Okay, but Mara's gonna.
Surely, I mean, some of them.
Alright. So
I'm
I'm still
gonna-
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as we get out of the water, I'm gonna check if my muffin survived.
It's soaking wet, but still intact.
Okay. I'll leave it be so
Okay.
it doesn't become muffin mush.
You can assume that all your gear is equally soaked from being submerged for so long.
Hmm.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm at the head of the party, and I kind of just like eye Grim, and I'm contemplating asking him if he's like a giant of some sort. And then I I think better of it because it's probably very personal to him. I turn around the other direction. So we've come this far. We might as well continue ahead, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, you figure you're hundreds and hundreds of yards underground, over 1,000 feet of tunnel. As you travel on, again, the tunnel seems pretty much as it described. It's slowly descending.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, at the very edge of your light, Talrune, remember it's 20 feet of bright light, 20 feet of dim light. Just at the very edge of that, you can see that this tunnel finally ends and opens up into a wider area. I'll show you a little updated map of where you're at. So you can assume this is... Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Is it still like?
That's a lot longer.
Is it still filled with water?
No, you're out of.
No.
You've been out of the water section for a while now.
Okay.
So that section of hallway went on for hundreds and hundreds of yards, meters, if you will. Here, in the very left, the very west side, there is where the boulders were stacked up.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying you're about 40 feet or so from the opening on the east side, because that's about where your light would reach.
Mm-hmm. All right. Maybe this is the destination then. Step into the larger room.
I didn't think that the elves lived underground. I thought they was dwarves.
I've heard of some elves that do, but it could just be legend.
But I don't think he's living here.
No, he lives back in Crossmeet, remember?
Mm-hmm.
We went to his house and everything.
Unless he has moved.
Well, that's
Yeah, well-
stupid. He left all the stuff there.
He should really.
Some of his stuff.
He should really talk to the person who sold him his new house then, because this is not good real estate as far as I can see.
Middle of nowhere.
Yes, giant flying bugs and a lawn that tries to eat you.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, if he came, I mean, it's unlikely he came this way, right?
It's highly
What other
likely.
way could he have gone?
Yes. Yeah. If there was another way that you're aware of, you should
No,
have told
I
us.
just mean, if
Yeah. Oh, didn't they tell you there's...
There's a back entrance.
if he came through all the flying stingers, he would have killed some, right?
Perhaps. Unless he knew what he was getting into.
Unless
And,
they are a pet. The guard dog.
Well, perhaps he did kill some and they were dragged in the water.
I guess you technical. Maybe you could train them.
Yes, or the grass. It ate them.
Either way,
Maybe he just knows
But
this
anyway.
terrain very well.
It's unlikely, right?
He's an elf. They are very mysterious.
And the point is, he came here for a reason. And,
Yes.
I think we need to figure out what that reason is. He wouldn't have
Yes.
risked his life for nothing. So even if he met an unfortunate end, there could still be things within this place that might
Yeah, well,
be
for all we know,
manageable.
he could be on the button of one of those.
Indeed, he could.
Yeah, no, I did not see him.
So, but we don't know exactly what the grass does with you when it brings you down. Maybe for all we know, it digests you and
That's true. It
Yeah.
could do that.
spits you out into some kind of underground toilet.
So with that, let's move on.
Okay, you move ahead about another 10 feet, and then you stop again because you realize now that this area ahead, there's some light coming from it. It seems to be, imagine a room with the windows open during the day, but it's not a particularly sunny day. That kind of sort of ambient daylight, that's the kind of light you're sensing coming from it.
Okay.
Or you're seeing coming from it, I should say.
All right. I say, I whisper to Torun, "Why don't you tuck that in your shirt, and we'll use this light for now, in case there's something up here we don't want it to see us."
I do so tuck the necklace down into my shirt. And you can still kind of see it, I imagine. It's just not lighted anything.
Okay. So you're now in near pitch blackness, but you can certainly distinguish the light coming from ahead.
Yeah. So we'll just move up, feeling our way.
Okay. So how far do you want? Do you want to go right to the entrance? Do you want to go within 10 feet of the entrance? I don't want to commit you to anything. So.
Maybe I should go a scout ahead. Or Torun could go scout ahead.
All right. No, Belmira can be quiet when she needs to be. I know we haven't seen much of it, but
I was going to say, she must not need to be very often.
Apparently not. So I kind of step back flat against the wall and I gesture to Belmira, like, be my guest.
Okay, I will move along, kind of keeping to the side of the tunnel, trying to keep out of if there's any light coming in.
Actually,
I'll be...
Okay, it's a bit of a struggle getting by your companions, but you managed to pull it off. And what? How close do you want to go?
Okay.
What you want to do?
Well, I wanna sneak ahead. So as I disappear out in the dark, all they can hear is my boots squish, 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 and they fade off.
Okay. Well, they could probably see a silhouette of you since the light is coming from beyond you, from their perspective, right? So you're probably rather silhouetted to them. But if there's something inside the room looking out, then you're definitely going to be in good shadow. Does that follow? I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you want to go right up to where it opens up?
Yes, we'll take a peek.
All right. So you see, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. So it's a massive cavern, oddly shaped. It's like the cavern goes left and right and ahead. To the left, and again, it's like it's almost like daylight in here. A little dimmer than daylight, cloudy daylight. You cannot see a source of light, like what's causing the light to trigger. But you can see to your left, about 100, 150 feet away, there's a bunch of bookshelves right against the cavern walls. There are a couple of tables and chairs there. Looking to your right, you see a bunch of desks, a series of desks with chairs sitting in them. And this is a good, 50 to 100 meters, both to your left and right, respectively. And also you can see that the passage also continues to the east, but it's much wider.
Why would he have moved into the cave, they said? That's silly, they said.
There's almost no real estate tax here.
Almost, right?
Yeah. But he doesn't pick up any sounds of anyone walking about, whistling.
Nope. You hear nothing but the sounds of your companions breathing and perhaps still dripping a little bit.
Heavy breathing, stuff like that.
Well, you were hanging onto his belt.
Well, we're also being a little quiet.
You girded his loins.
Okay, I'll step out where they can see my silhouette more clearly, and I'll kind of make a gesture that they should move up.
Okay. Do you guys trust Balmera enough to do so?
Sure.
Nope. But I'll follow their guys.
Trust is the wrong word, but pump it up.
Right. This is a bit further than you can see, but that's the next chunk of map I have.
All right.
So I'll say that Balmera is right at the intersection, and you guys are just behind her, still in the narrow passageway.
All right.
So to the north, to your left, this is where you see all these bookshelves against the wall, a couple of long tables with chairs around them, and to the south, you can see a bunch of desks. You can't see into the eastern part of that area yet, or to the east of that yet. But. I mean, you can't see here yet or here yet.
Right.
I kind of look around and say, well, this seems quite out of place.
He's like underground school. Or library.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
The books are sort of a clue.
He's the dwarven education?
It is also a clue that there is another entrance to this.
Quite possibly. So I'm going to make my way along the northern, the north western wall,
Okay.
right to, and up toward the bookshelves.
Okay, and what are the rest?
I'm gonna move straight ahead, as quietly as I can, and kind of position myself so I can keep an eye down that tunnel leading to the east.
Further to the east.
Mhm.
Okay.
What kind of scale are we looking at here, as far as like from the tunnel we exited to the one across?
100 meters and 100 meters. That's like north to south. That's like 200 meters. That's like 2 football fields.
Holy kitty cats!
Meow.
Jawdat and Talrun, where are you two going?
I'm actually just moving around the odd furnishings here.
That was vague and unhelpful.
Yep.
To the north, there are bookshelves set against the wall. There are 2 long tables with several chairs around them. To the south, there are a bunch of desks, each with like small writing desks, each with a chair in front of them. So when you say furniture, be more specific.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna, from where I'm standing, I look at the desk and look at the table, and then I walk up to the desk and begin looking around there. And
You're going
when you
to the
say
south?
Desks, yeah, the desks, yeah.
Okay. And Jawdat.
I guess I'm going to sort of partially follow Balmer and partially follow Tolrune, so I'm going to wander out towards the middle of the room,
Okay.
just sort of looking perplexed at this dwarven kindergarten.
Okay. I'm going to... Balmera and Jawdat, you see a small zephyr approaching. It is about a foot high. It is not dense or thick. It's like fairly translucent. It seems to be like just a tiny little tornado of dust, perhaps. It's about a foot off the ground, and it's swirling, not terribly fast, but enough to maintain its shape. And it's sort of drifting up the hallway, coming towards you, but not directly at you. It's certainly making not a direct path towards you. It's more like sort of vaguely zigzagging side to side, making its way towards you. As I said, it's about a foot high. Grim, you see all the bookshelves are empty, which is a shame because they would have held thousands of books. There is nothing on the desks other than a couple of dried inkwells.
Okay.
To the south, Talrune, you see a bunch of desks, each with these are small desks, like you'd see in a classroom, each with a chair, and each has an inkwell with ink that's long dried up, and some still have like the feather things and stuff like that. There's a few even ink holders, and when you look inside them, the ink is long dried.
Okay. So are these like...
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, are these like actual like what do you guys call it? Elementary school desks where you can like lift them up and you have like all your stuff in them? Or are they just flat tables?
This is just simple wooden desk. Simple wooden desk.
Okay.
Each would have a single drawer in it, perhaps.
I'm gonna look through drawers then.
Yeah, we can go in any order. So yeah, in the drawers, occasionally you find like an old quill that's long dried up writing quill or some ink. You find a couple of maybe blank scraps of parchment.
Oh, good. I can replace all the cartography equipment that got damaged by the water.
If anyone wants to do anything in their area, to speak up.
Well, I'm going to search around the shelves, see if there's any kind of indication of if there were books there, because they could just be shelves, not bookshelves.
Yeah, it seems to, even though there's almost no dust at all in here, it seems there's evidence to suggest maybe from faded spots on the wood and things like that this once held lots and lots of books.
Okay.
Okay, so Belmera and Jawdat, this little zephyr, it's about a foot tall. It's meandering its way towards you.
And what is a zephyr?
It's a zephyr's like a little tiny, like a little tiny twister.
Ah.
Swirling air.
Yeah, but it's about a foot tall.
She just looks at Jawdat.
Yeah. What? Where I come from, they are bigger and they full of sand.
Yeah, but
Nice.
is that? I never seen one in a cave.
Oh, I'm sorry. The last cave you were in with flying, blood-sucking things and attacking grass, it did not have this.
Well, underground then.
Strange.
This wasn't on the pamphlet.
This wasn't mentioned anywhere in the tour guide.
You think this is a monster?
Is the wind? I pick up like a loose little piece of like stone from the ground and just. No, it's just wind.
Okay. You can find a tiny one, but the place is actually pretty clean. When the stone goes at this thing, it kind of gets caught up in the little whirlwind, and so it's now joined it. It's this little tiny pebble you toss has now become a part of it.
Huh. Yeah.
And you have these at home, but bigger. What do you do?
It's zigzagging its way, again, not directly, but it's making its way towards you, Belmere. It's about 10 feet away and closing, but not hurriedly.
Okay, I'm taking a few steps back.
Okay. So again, it's making its way side to side. You're going to have to continue backing up if you want to avoid it.
No, I'm gonna go to the side.
Okay. It brushes right near you, and it swirls up your clothing a little bit. Maybe dries you off that last little bit you needed, and maybe. So as it makes its way up the hallway, traveling west, the zephyr becomes a little bigger and a little thicker, a little darker, as it gathers up dust and pebbles and things like that.
I kind of look over and I kind of whisper to the others, say, it's
Well, you can't really whisper to them from where you're at. You're like 100 yards away. Hey guys! Hi!
be surprised how it sound goes. Yeah,
Well,
I'll kind of wander back over in that direction.
Rob, I'm gonna take
I want
like a pinch of bread and maybe like one of the runty carrots I had in my pocket and a scrap of leather and a piece of. And I'm just flicking it into this thing as it's collecting them and just watching all this stuff like. Like that's
the smaller, lighter pieces. It seems to handle maybe the bigger, heavier chunks it struggles with. Before you leave the area, Grim, I want you to make me an Arcana check, please.
Oh. Alrighty. Arcana's my thing. Hang on. Ooh, nice roll. 17 plus 6, 23.
That's good. I had the DC as a 20. So to your left, as you're walking past the bookshelves headed towards your friends, you get like a brief sense of like, you know, well, however Arcana or detect magic works, you just get this little.
You get a quickening like the immortals. And,
Yeah, exactly.
the only one.
So I kind of turn in that direction, and I move over, take a closer look.
Yeah, it's pretty much right where you're standing, or very close to where you're standing.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I will. Since they all seem perfectly happy to be doing what they're doing, I'm going to. I'm gonna hunker down with my my book, sit, just kind of drop cross-legged, reach into my pack and pull out my book, flip it open to page 38, and take a deep breath, and my fingers begin tracing over the page as they have hundreds of times before.
Nice. You're casting a ritual?
Yes, detect magic.
Excellent. So the pages are slightly curved. You know how they can get when they get, but the ink is utterly unmarred. And you begin to weave your magic. So let's cut back to Talrun for a second. So, Talrun, down where you are, as I said, you find occasional empty inkwells, scraps of parchment, old quills. Go ahead.
So the parchment's completely dry, right? Well, yes, why wouldn't it be? It's in good condition, just old.
It's not in good condition. It's fragile.
Okay. All right.
Well, it's not crumbling or nothing, but it's very old.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. Sorry.
To the east of where you are in that area, you can see eventually all these desks are facing a large podium that has a desk near it. Behind the podium, against that eastern wall in that section, you can see a big piece of slate board. It's like a dark gray slate board. It's against the wall.
I'm going to move over there. Curious, because I thought Jordan was just kidding when he said it was a dwarven kindergarten.
Okay, so you head over there. All right, so back in the middle of the room, this Zephyr having gone past you, what do Jawdat and Belmera wish to do? I love it when the party splits into three.
I wander off in my own direction.
Excellent. I teleport myself to another plane.
So how Grim's what, like 100 yards from me or so?
Yeah. So it's 100 yards. That thing's about 200 yards north-south. That section.
And I don't know about I'm about at the middle. So okay.
Sure.
We could use one of these. They clean the house.
You see Grim sitting with his legs crossed, reading from his book. Belmera, you're standing right there.
Maybe you should pick it up. And I'll proceed to the east.
Okay.
Into that little tunnel.
Okay, so as you proceed east, the tunnel widens up. To the north, eventually you see long rows of cots. Dozens and dozens, perhaps 100 or more in total cots.
It is a dwarven kindergarten.
I'm going to get back to you in a second. Talrun. No, let's go to Grim at this point. So Grim, your ritual completes, and you get
Yes. Oh, we lost him.
You get a sense of your impending doom.
I usually do.
Your spell backfires and
The world catches on fire.
there's always on fire somewhere.
Belmir's left arm falls off.
You all gain
Hello,
one.
and we're back. Sorry, lost connection again. So, as I was saying, Grim, you get a sense of magic very, very localized underneath the bookshelf you're facing.
Oh, okay. Do I get a sense of its of the school?
Oh, that's a good question. Yes. Let me just figure out what it is. I just have to find it.
That's my problem.
Okay. I don't know what that school is off the top of my head, so I'm just gonna look it up.
No problem.
Transmutation.
It's a mimic. Fuck.
I think it's abjuration off the top of my head. But
Okay.
that's gonna be my best guess.
Abjuration is protection spells.
Yeah.
Why is it?
You get a strong sense it's an evocation spell. Particularly,
Abjuration. I was right. It's abjuration.
particularly fireball.
Evocation that is layered with a necromantic spell.
That's right. Yeah. All right. So I'll now, but it looks like it's coming from underneath the shelf.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
It's more like a Geiger counter or a metal detector, like beep 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 beep. It's right here somewhere, kind of thing. But yeah, you can't see, but it feels like it's coming from underneath the bookshelf.
Yeah. Well, basically, what the detect magic does is it's like it gives you kind of a faint aura, and it kind of gives you a hint of the school of magic. It looks like a foot of stone and stuff. So
Right.
Yeah.
But I always see it as something like it's only in your head.
oh yeah, no one else sees it. Yeah, definitely. All right. So, but I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna look for this glow and see if it's something that is. Well, actually, I'm gonna walk around to where the shelves are, the shelf side of the bookshelf, and I'm gonna check the
So
bottom.
the backs of the shelves are right against the wall.
Okay.
These are tall shelves, too big, heavy, thick wood.
I'm gonna check the bottom shelf to see if there's any kind of secret opening that I could that can access underneath it.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
Exceedingly average with a roll of 10, but with a 13.
No, it just seems this bookshelf is on top of whatever it is.
All right. Then yeah. Then if the bookshelf isn't affixed to the wall, I'm just gonna kind of tip it off.
All right. You need to make me a strength check.
Sure. That is
It's
not
extremely heavy.
okay.
It's huge.
All right. Well, not great with that. 10.
You only move it enough to realize it can be moved.
All right.
You push it enough to realize it can be pushed, but not by you. Not without help, anyway.
Yeah, I look toward the other end of the room, looking for a Belmira particularly.
So Balmera has gone further east. Torun has gone further east. I don't know if Johnhead is still there. I think he's still within view. Tell me, Johnhead.
Yeah, I'm still in the center-ish of the room, sort of wandering around behind this little dust cloud.
Okay.
Entertained by
I
bits of fabric into it.
I send a quick whistle down that way, like, and I give him a quick wave to come this way.
Okay. So you start heading over there.
Yeah, I hesitate for one more minute, and then I pull a copper piece out and chuck it into the little whirlwind.
He kind of mostly just drags it, like it bounces occasionally. But it's like, this is ding, ding, this is ding. That's right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kind of like a vacuum cleaner trying to pick up a washer, just
yeah, that's it exactly. That's it exactly. Okay, so while you're heading over there, closing that distance. Talrune, you move up to where this desk is and this podium and this large piece of slate board.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to make me an Arcana check.
Okay, 19.
All right, so
wow.
you get a sense of something coming from the slate board.
I slide forward and then quickly run to the side so I can look behind the slate board.
Right, so this slate board is actually a large piece of slate rock that's about 6-7 feet in diameter, about 3 inches thick, and a very flat side on it. That's the side that's facing outward. It's just sort of leaning against the wall.
So what kind of feeling do I get from it?
You get a magical aura.
Okay.
A sense of just a arcane sense. It's not like specific like detect magic or like right there.
So is it more like I just feel
there's...
Yeah, but is it more like I just feel there's something strange about the rock?
Something magical about it, anyway.
Okay. So I get a sensation that if anyone in this world got, they would interpret it as magical.
Yeah, it's not specific.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to get more information. I just wanted to know what I felt.
Yes.
If
magical dust had been sprinkled upon this, that would have the same effect, even if it wasn't magical itself. Just
Okay, I examine the slate rock, and I probably can't really figure out anything more to it. So I look at the desk next to the podium.
Mm-hmm. It's larger than the other desks. It has several drawers, none of which are locked. Inside you see stacks of parchment and dried inkwells, several quills, things like that.
And this paper's in a similar deterioration to the others?
It's old. It's not deteriorating exactly. It's just very old.
Okay. I suspect that maybe this paper might have something written on it, so I'm gonna, go through that. Go through this paperwork.
So you start leafing through the paper. It all seems to be blank. It's a stack of blank parchment. Balmera. So in the area you're in, there's hundreds and hundreds of cots. In the very far eastern corner, you see two things interesting. Near the wall, you see it looks like a little river that kind of comes out of one of the walls and goes under another one, and that leaves a little tiny pond, puddle, if you will, in the corner. Not too far from that, about 10 feet away from that, you see a body lying in one of the cots. It's the only cot that's occupied.
Okay. I look back. Can I catch eye contact with any of my companions?
No. If you think of where they are, no.
Okay, I go out and I approach Talrun. He's the one that's closest to me now, right?
Well, actually, he's heading over to Grim, so he's kind of walking away from you in a way.
Right. He's not there anymore.
There's nothing hindering you from going to him. It's a bit of a walk. Okay, so you think about what you want to do.
I'm just gonna wait until they turn around, and then I'm gonna wave.
All right. Okay. So back over at the bookshelf, Jawdat is Grim. You're standing there together. Now what?
Yeah. I say, Jawdat, we need to move this bookshelf. There's something underneath here.
Yeah.
I lean in sort of conspiratorially. Something magic.
Okay, yeah.
So, what do you think? We just tip it, or should we try and slide it out?
you're. It's going to be much easier to tip it. It's going to be very hard to slide it.
All right.
I'm not saying it's impossible.
Let's just tip it.
You okay?
So you get on that side, and I'll get on the side, and we'll just grab it as far to the top as we can to get the most leverage, and just
Okay.
pull it over.
So make me a combined strength check, please. You need a 20, but you can combine the rolls.
Okay, so we each roll d20 and combine the rolls.
Yep.
All right. Well, I hope so because I get a 12. So you don't need to roll really high. Try that.
11.
All right. So, and once you get past that tipping point, it picks up speed quickly, and it's boom, and there's a loud echo throughout the area that certainly Talrun and Balmera hear. Now, underneath where the bookshelf, you see just in that one little area a piece of flattened parchment.
Aha. All right. I'll go over and I'll just kind of like gingerly pick it with 2 fingers and slide it, and hold it up in front of me.
Okay.
I heard a noise. Are we being attacked?
You hear that? You're shot from a distance.
Shut it!
However, when you call out, Talrun, the words you call out appear upon the slate board.
Ah.
I look at the slate.
So you see, "Are we being attacked?" appears on the slate board.
Voice recognition.
all
Voice recognition chalkboard.
And then I just stare at the slate board and I'm like, how does it erase? And
So that appears up there.
then, speaking as fast as I can, I start recounting everything that happened
Ever?
since
right,
since I
go
moved
ahead.
to Crossmeet.
Go ahead.
Okay.
First the Earth cooled, then the dinosaurs appeared.
Okay.
As you speak, everything that you say appears on this board, and eventually, when it gets full, the upper stuff starts to fade, and your words appear there. It's not like it scrolls up, but it just starts writing from the top again. Meanwhile, so Balmera, you can hear somewhere off in the distance to the south, Talrun talking to himself, and Grim and Jada hear this as well. He's going on and on and on.
He does that. A guy named Devilov, we didn't like him so much, and then after that we.
I kind of hope that I didn't have to move, but I will go over to him.
And I felt this attraction toward Balmera. Wait, what?
What are you doing? There's a body in here.
Okay, so you make your way over to him. So I'm going to get to you in a second because that's probably going to take you a little bit to walk that 200 yards or so, 200 meters or so. So Grim and Jawdat, the scroll you're looking at, it's blank on one side. The other side, it's magical writing, and it's the spell for lesser restoration.
Sweetness and light.
Yeah.
Right.
So, why would they hide a scroll under a heavy bookcase?
Yeah, might have just slipped there accidentally. This place could have been once a
Yes, school
where
for magical children or something.
Yeah, or just it could have been a facility for copying spells, documents, other such things.
Oh,
Like a scribe.
this is a good idea. Take small children that are like apprentice wizards, lots of them, put them in a room, make them copy spells, sell spells.
Where are we getting this small children motif coming from?
These small desks.
Are they?
Yes, other side has small desks.
Couldn't they be halflings or?
I didn't mean to imply they were.
Wait, halflings can write.
Indeed.
Oh,
Some of them can even talk.
well, yes, Faye is halfling, yes.
Murgy, Farina, Ferris.
Talk, I know. Writing, I did not think this was a strong point for halflings.
Well, to be fair, most people in Crossmeet don't think orcs can read and write, so, there are prejudices all around out there.
Yes. It's a good thing the other half of me can read and write.
I stopped looking at the, fascinated at this and I think, are you self-prejudiced?
That is good spell.
It is utterly wrinkle-free, too.
Well, we'll be being pressed under a
2-ton bookcase.
2-ton bookcase.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No. So I say, well, I gotta roll it up. So we'll save this in case we need it. Hopefully we won't. But I guess it does give us a little bit of a clue as to the sort of things that are going on here.
It does.
What the hell is Torun talking about?
So, to the south...
Something, Evelov, something, fire, something... I'm not sure.
Evelov? It figures he'd be behind this. And I start marching that way.
Okay. Balmera, as you go walking up to Talrun, you see him talking, and you see words appearing on this slate board.
And then Balmera stole the horse, and then I tried to get the man to confess to what was chasing after him, but he wouldn't listen, and then Jordan had to put him on a boat, and now he's gone forever. And
so everything on the board is one long run-on sentence.
Yeah, there's no punctuation.
No punctuation.
Okay, so when I get there and as he asks what he's doing, does that appear on the board too?
Yes.
Tolerance,
Yes.
stop doing this. There's a body in there.
ah, you ruined it.
My memoirs.
Memoirs by Richard Nixon. $19.95.
What have you done here?
Chapter 1.
I found the magic
The house
slate
my
board.
father built.
A magic what?
Slate board.
Uh-huh.
It's magical, Balmera.
Okay. How big is the slate board?
It's
about
rock, right?
7 feet across, 7 by 7 by about 4 or 5 inches thick.
Okay, and as we're speaking now, it continues writing what we're saying?
Yep, everything you say out loud.
Okay, so does it shift or does it become a lower font?
No, there's one font only.
Okay.
Does it capitalize proper nouns?
Okay, Bamero starts. Bamero. Torun is stupid monk and stuff like that, and she will just fill the slate board with nonsense. And I want to see.
Balmera walks into the room. Close.
I want
Just
to
repeats
see.
over and over. I will not take courses that are not mine. I will not take courses that are not mine. I will not take
It's
courses.
the opening of The Simpsons.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
I'd love to have that.
But as it continues writing line after line, when it gets to the button, what happens then? That's what
I
I
already
wanna-
said, but what happens is it just starts writing again from the top, overwriting. Like what was at the top just vanishes as
Okay.
it starts.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
It doesn't scroll. That's the next version. It's
Okay, so if she'll
This
take
doesn't
her
even have tab browsing now.
she'll take her sleeve, can she wipe it out?
no.
Was it empty when you got her?
No,
Yes.
it had a bunch of stuff about Eveloff.
it had the
Avalon was here.
the spell formula of eternal life, and we just defiled it with
That's
graffiti.
it. That's it. The solution to all of mankind's problems is
The fact that you can't erase it, and the fact that Balmera's first thing was going Balmera, 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 Balmera. Talrune is a doo-doo head. Like, and those words are immortalized for all time.
I'm going to carve them before they fade.
This is
So what
So
happens
did you find anything?
after a couple of minutes? The words fade. After a couple of minutes of silence, if you stop talking that long, I don't know if that happens.
Yeah. So did you find anything else?
Grim and Jawdat, you guys show up while these two are arguing.
Okay, when
Jodak, come look at this.
when he says
Wait,
that,
wait,
I was
no, yeah, just wait until I say more words, and these words here disappear, which we need to do.
yeah. Balmera will say Balmera, so when it writes it says Balmera, and then what she says. And
Right.
she-
Balmera, colon.
I walk up
So
and I
you
say,
do realize that it only works when you're within about 5 or 6 feet of it.
as I get with 5 to 6 feet, I say, you found evidence that Evelov is behind this? And on the board it says, Evelov is behind this. It's like, I knew it!
So I have found a body in the other room. This is more fun.
Just stare at
Just imagine that she says that we're all staring at the board, and then for a moment we read it, and then everyone glares at her. It's just
It's all just glares.
I found a body in the other room. But this is way more fun. What?
We are so easily distracted. You have John throwing coins into a little dust devil. You have the rest of us like,
Oh my god.
playing with this.
It's not a body. It's not a body in the bed.
Hey, watch this. Poop, poop. Say-
She
saying
has
swear
seen
words.
bodies. She's never seen a magic blackboard before.
We were saying
What's the big
swear
deal?
words
We have
across it.
these in every house. Oh.
Magic. You don't. You don't have magic blackboard. And you don't know. You
What
don't
the
have
hell?
that.
What about body?
Hey, Rob, I have a technical question about enlarge reduce.
Sure.
If I reduced an enemy and say put them in a steel cage, and the spell expired, would they grow to crush it or?
Oh, that's a good question. I would probably have them take a considerable amount of damage. Might kill. It depends on what it is.
Okay. I was curious. Well, that eliminates that for getting the chalkboard out. Well, I thought if you said that it would just stay that size until it could expand into a regular area, then we could just put it in something that was fairly solid. You know, I could reduce it, put it in something fairly solid, and then we could bring it out, and then.
Yeah, no, it would definitely harm it if it expired when it was.
Yeah,
it would
because
rip through it at that point. It's not part of it.
reduce doesn't last that long, so we would have about a minute to get it out, which is not enough time.
So in any case, Balmera did mention there's a body in it.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to leave them to their chalkboard and go.
I'm leaving as well.
Yeah, I give one last longing look and I say, actually, just for the heck of it, I look at the board and I say, and I just think like the shape of a circle.
Nothing happens unless you say it aloud.
Okay. Draw a circle.
The words draw a circle.
Draw a circle. Okay. All right. That's fine. It's like, oh well. And I say,
draw me a map of this place.
yeah. So yeah, I'll follow the others out to look at this.
Okay.
Body.
So this. All right. So this area you're in now, it is larger than the other two areas combined, or equally as big. It's about 500. No, I'm wrong. It's about maybe 200, 250 meters long by about 100 meters high, and it's rows and rows of cots. Now, to the south, you can see wide openings to 2 other caverns, if you want to call the places you were caverns. And to the east, you can see the tunnel continues. A wide version of the tunnel continues.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that all of you are in the sleeping area. And I'll show you the remainder of the map, even though a little part of it you probably can't see yet.
Okay.
Rob, when you said it's 100 meters high, did you mean north to south, or did you actually mean tall?
North to south. That's
Okay.
correct. North to south.
I was like,
Sorry.
Yeah, that'd be a tall cavern.
No, the cavern is about 20 feet high.
Okay.
Maybe 30 feet high. So you can't see quite to the end, but that's what you're looking at.
Okay.
So the body is in the cot that is nearest to those little steps which lead down to the water. So that's like 3 stone steps that lead down to this little natural river which comes out of the rock and goes back into the rock. The body is chained to the cot, and it is the body of an elf. It has long, tall, pointed ears. It looks very, very pale and emaciated.
Decomposition level?
I never even said it was dead.
Okay. So none? Okay.
Just looks pale and emaciated.
I'm going to begin to move as quiet as I can.
I looked above her and I said, "You didn't say he might be alive," and I go over there.
No, I said buddy.
She
And I
didn't even bother to check.
wrote it on the board too.
And you categorize it as less fun than the board.
Yes.
I tapped the body on the shoulder.
It doesn't respond. Make me a perception check.
Hi, I'm Torun. Are you alive? I got a 7 on perception.
What?
Okay, never mind.
it has a
And
body.
yes, I did ask it if it was alive.
It doesn't respond.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a well. I assume Jedi will, but I'm gonna do a medicine check to sort of go over.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
15.
So you it seems like it's alive, barely.
Okay.
I should say he. It's definitely a male elf.
Yeah.
Barely alive, very, very slim. You can count its ribs. It's just wearing a loincloth. As I said, it's chained to the cot.
Okay. So, I say,
By like a single manacle kind of thing.
Is that him?
I look up at Jada. I say, he's alive. Is there anything you can do?
Oh, I can do something.
Nope.
No.
Yes. I have mushroom. I have muffin mush.
Well, you
Yes,
could choke on. You could choke on it in this state. Let's see what
who-
Jada can do first.
I mean, who even knows that an elf can be helped by his sort of magic?
Well,
I
we don't
looked
know
at
that
you,
elves like
puzzle.
muffins.
All right. Well, I'll go. Yeah. I mean, does he look hurt, Rob, or just emaciated and like malnourished and?
I'm going to have you make me a medicine check, and you can have advantage on the roll since.
Okay. So let's go with the one where I rolled a 14 and not a 2.
Okay.
So 14, 16, 18.
Okay, so definitely malnourished, definitely alive, barely, and I don't know what the medieval term is, but comatose.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have any stab wounds or cutting wounds or anything like that.
I think the medieval
Nope.
term is knocked the F out.
Yeah, I meant like literally in a coma though, not just.
It's the
Right.
technical term.
Well, I mean, is this the guy?
Do you see any other elves
I
around?
believe Markel and Tam gave you a description of
Right.
Phyril.
But they skipped the part where
said
he was
an
amazing.
elf. Didn't they?
No,
Yeah.
they told you he was an elf. Brogan told you he was an elf.
No. They didn't give us a description of him. They just said he's an elf. He looks like an elf. You'll know him because he's an elf.
That was
They didn't
pretty
say-
much their description over and over again.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we didn't get any specifics.
It
Does
is
he have-
fair to say that since the time you set foot in Crossmeet, this is the first elf you've seen.
Yeah.
And for some of you, maybe the first elf you've ever seen.
Does he have any jewelry on him?
Like I told you,
signet?
just wearing a loincloth. Just a
Yes.
loincloth.
Okay, so no signet rings that could identify him.
No ID in a wallet, no.
Dang it! I was really
No
hoping.
barcode.
What is? I mean, what would? It's so weird. In the real world, when there are symptoms because of medicine, there is. If symptoms are A, B, C, you do 1, 2, 3. In a world with magic, a practitioner of healing arts, can they make a diagnosis and then know the appropriate spell? I.e., if they're poisoned, you know Cure Wounds isn't going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, excellent.
does Cure Wounds?
So you're basically using medicine knowledge. So I'm going to say that if you do some sort of curing spell upon him,
Uh-huh.
you will probably be able to keep him from slipping from a coma to death. You'll
Okay.
probably be able to stabilize him.
So I will.
He definitely is suffering from malnutrition, maybe dehydration.
Yes, the middle cure for a lot of stuff was bloodletting. However, in D&D,
Yes.
bloodletting is not a cure for anything other than too many enemies.
Maybe it should be.
I cover him with leeches.
All right, so I'm going to kneel down. How tall is he specifically? But how tall are elves in this?
5'5" would be the 5'6" would be the average wood
Okay.
elf. My roll.
So,
He's about
Alright.
average.
so I'm going to kneel down and hunker over a little bit, and I put my hands on each side of his head, and I'm going to force his eyes open as I look into them and start this low sort of guttural prayer. That's almost. Are you familiar with Mongolian throat singing, like where it's like?
Uh-huh.
All right, so it's very much
That's
like
where
that.
they're doing two tones at once.
Right, and then yeah, it's I love it. I think it's one of the most awesome things.
It's
in the world.
amazing. It's amazing.
So freaking good. So it's sort of like that, but my eyes go from their normal blue color to a very golden sandy color, and as do his. So there's that shift
okay,
in eye
cool.
tone, and he will get back some hit points. He'll get back. Oh wow. 8. He's actually going to get back 10 hit points.
Okay,
Pretty
so
good.
a couple of faint bruises he has. They return to flesh tone. The other differences are subtle but perceptible. His breathing becomes a little less ragged. He gets a little bit more color to his skin, a little less pallor. However, you are also affected in that you are hit with a really powerful thirst all of a sudden.
So I kind of cough and wheeze, and without even thinking about it, I take the shirt stuff that I'm wearing, and I sort of pull it up and start sucking the water out of it from having swam through that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, we did it all the time in football. You'd actually suck your own sweat back out of your jersey.
Sure, yeah. So you drink down the shirt water. Don't forget there is water not that far away from you.
Right, and I'm actually going to start. I pull my big, meaty, orky hand back into my sleeve, and I'm going to start dabbing his forehead with my still wet sleeves. Hello. Hello. Are you
So
in
you
there?
get a sense that he is in there, but currently unconscious.
Okay. That's better than dead. He will live.
Yeah, your best guess is that he would. He will live.
As I watch him try to give him a sip of orc sweat, I say, I have a water bottle. Yeah.
Not to mention, you hear this. There's a river 10 feet away.
There's a river right there.
I'm not saying your sweat isn't.
No, is water from swim. Is not.
I'm not sure that's better. I mean, Belmira was in it.
Yeah, and just a heads up. I mean, you don't want to drink every type of water you found underground.
I know water is scarce in your lands, from what you've said before, but we have lots of different waters to choose from here. And
Yes, and some of it is bad water.
we have better water to choose from here.
We have good water, bad water.
Sure, flavor, with just a hint of vine.
So, is this guy gonna live, Jordan?
Yes, I think so.
Cool. Well, we found him, so we can go now.
I do not. He is not conscious.
Well, I can see that.
I'm sure we can still get him out. I can use the invisible force I used to carry the gear from before. You remember?
Yes, but your force it only is like so far off ground, and in water ground was very far down. He is not a aquatic elf.
I think the water would count as ground for this spell.
Oh.
But still, that's. I mean, we can just carry him.
Well, right. I'm saying that keeping him in here is not going to be the best option in any case.
So who manacled him?
Right.
Here?
He's also a slight matter of why he is chained up.
Well, if we get him out of here, we can ask him.
It might be.
I mean, I'm not. You're the expert with contracts and agreements and such, Jordan. But our contract was to bring this poor bastard out of here. And
technically, it was to find out what happened to him.
Well, we don't know what happened to him. We just know where he ended up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we found him. We left him chained to a bed in some cave, though.
I'm sure that and Jordan can back me up on this, that their intention was to see his good health. If we returned with word that we left him chained to a bed in a dank cave where there's Bob knows what.
Well, they should have been more careful then with their words.
I look at Palmyra just like.
We should all be more careful with our words, shouldn't we?
Yes, we should.
It's possible you can take his bindings off.
Also, why is he only wearing a loincloth? Is that bothering anyone else?
I don't think we should ask why he's chained and wearing a loincloth. So.
While
you do that, I'm gonna check out to see if I can find an exit.
Yeah. As I look at Torun. Are you offended by nudity?
No, I'm just wondering.
You live with 4 other people of mixed genders and orientations. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just wondering.
Well, yeah, but it's a strange thing.
He's mostly naked, tied to a cot in a cave, far away from the city. That is a weird situation.
Well, I'm just saying it's a strange thing to wonder when his life's at stake.
Is anyone going to take handcuff off? Is anyone going to take handcuff off? Manacle, can we remove it?
I'll do it.
While they're debating the finer points of what the elf is wearing, I'm gonna go down and see if I can find a way either deeper or out of here.
So on his wrist is on his left wrist is a single manacle, that's a lock, like a key lock. A short length of chain, about maybe a foot length of chain, and then another single manacle locking it to the cot.
Once I see that Belmira is out of sight, I'll I'll use my lockpicks to try and unlock his manacles.
Okay, the DC is 15.
15. Okay. 16.
Okay, so it's a decent lock, not the best, but it's a good one.
Sorry, I work at it a few minutes and just son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Finally.
Well, he's
You can see a bit of
doing
flesh
that,
worn away where the manacle.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just taking a look around to see if there's any sign of his belongings. Because despite what Ron says, I'm assuming he didn't walk into here in his loincloth.
No, you see nothing.
Maybe
So
he did
it's like
walk over here in his loincloth.
perhaps. Yeah, so I'll peel this off and little bits of dried skin stuck to it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just kind of push it aside, and let's see what Belmira comes back with. If we can get out of here a more convenient way, that would be desirable, I assume.
Okay.
At this point, I call out, "Hey, Grim!"
It echoes through the big chamber.
She's
probably
why is it
100 yards or more away.
why is it we go to dungeon? He has to start screaming my name. Okay, I'll kind of like jog over to where the direction Belmira is. I say,
Okay.
and as I'm getting closer, shh, keep it down. We don't want to announce to every monster that we're down here. What is it?
Yeah,
I think maybe the boom from the bookshelf might have done that if there was something to alert.
She's standing in a room where there seems to be the remainers of an alchemist lab. With
Yeah.
beakers
This area,
and-
you see lots of beakers and vials, bits of parchment. It's actually fairly quite a mess. Most of the beakers and vials are broken. You see some dried up inkwells. There's a few bits of parchment that have liquid spilled on them, things like that. You do see a few books scattered, like they're not like sitting properly, like it's like someone just tossed a book on a table, even so it flew open, kind of thing.
Okay.
There are a couple of jars that are unstoppered that have liquid in them.
Maybe this will kind of provide a clue to what they were doing with him. I mean, you know this stuff, right?
Not specifically.
No, I seem to recall we had a conversation about it. You wanted to open your own shop, do stuff.
I look down and say, that wasn't me.
Oh.
Oh, you wizards look the same to me.
Yeah.
That's classist.
Yeah. By the way, I fucked you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you have the whole finger wiggling thing and all that, right? I mean,
Wow.
Yeah. So I just start looking around. I'm sure as a wizard I have at least have a vague idea of alchemy. Does it look like they were doing anything specific as far as I'm looking for the difference between like research and say mass producing.
Okay. Make me an investigation roll.
And again, this is just more.
Sure.
18.
Okay, good. So it looks like probably maybe an instructional lab where they may have made things, but not mass production. However, it also looks like the lab's been trashed. Many of the beakers and vials are broken and smashed. The few books that are in here, there's pages ripped from them, and the only remaining pages in the books are blank. The only liquids that are still, like some of the vials and beakers are still intact, but they're empty. There are 2 jars, however, that are still intact that has liquid in them, but they're unstoppered. One has is a sort of dark purple colored liquid, and the other is sort of a greenish sludge.
Hmm. Well, I may not be an alchemist, but I do know enough not to mess with strange liquids. But
I'm going to give you just a second. I'm going to get back to you in a second. So Jawdat and Talrun, you guys are back by this unconscious but alive elf.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? You definitely heard Balmera call out for Grim.
Well, I'm gonna lay the elf onto the bed for now. Was he shackled on the bed or shackled next to the bed?
To the bed. He was shackled to the bed.
But was he on it or at the foot of it?
He was on it, like lying.
Okay.
In fact, he's got a few bed sores.
You gross.
He's been lying there a while.
I'm gonna start out picking up the books and piling them up.
What's in the box, Evelyn?
I think we should take these books with us.
As I said, there's only about 3 or 4 books there, and most of the pages have been ripped out. The remaining pages are blank.
Yep, and that's what she wants.
Okay, but anyway, let Jawdat finish. So,
I mean, there's an unconscious elf. I can't really do anything with him. Poke. I mean,
all right, you're there as well, Talrun. If you want to do anything to the unconscious elf.
What did I? Sorry, I had to leave.
You want to touch the unconscious elf?
You're there beside this unconscious elf in the bed near this river.
Okay.
Anything.
I do not wish to touch any of them. So Grim and Balmera aren't here.
Nope, they're to the south. Okay, so back to Grim and Balmera then. So you got a pile of 3.5 books, Balmera. Well, it's actually like 4.5 books, really.
Okay.
Technically.
I say, I kind of lean over to Balmera. This could confirm that Evolov is behind all this.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You definitely do get both of you get a faint magical aura in this room.
Okay, I point to one of the broken beakers. I have definitely seen one of those near his shop.
Ironclad evidence right there.
Open and shut case.
We saw a beaker in that cave, and you used beakers.
Do we still have his signature? Because we could fake kind of like a confession in one of these books.
That's right, yeah. Put his signature in one of them.
Oh, man. Now, is there this cavern? Is there another way out of this one, or?
Okay, so you guys are in the bottom middle one there, as you will. That's where the lab is.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was the one that went up with the.
No, it's opposite the beds.
Gotcha.
So in the bottom right area, I'm going to say that Talrun and Jawdat join you, unless they don't want to.
Oh, we twiddle our thumbs doing nothing. No.
That's perfectly allowed. You don't even need a roll for it. In the bottom.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just saying that. Okay. I will join them.
In the bottom right area, it's like a cooking and dining area. There are a lot of sides of them, and to the south and a little bit on the southeast wall, there are like cooking areas, pits, and things like that. But and while there is still cooking implements, things like that, there is no foodstuffs here. You do see like cooking pits that are long, cold, kind of thing.
Okay, in the cooking pits, do they have like a chimney shaft or something like that?
It's sort of like natural cracks in this wall here. There's several of them behind the walls that have a bit of a draft, a draw upon it.
Okay. Well, I guess we should just take the elf and get out of here, right?
I think that's probably the best option. We'll poke our heads out and turn to the east and look up that. Is it stairs going up or down?
This passageway narrows again.
Yeah.
Not quite as narrow as the one you came through, but about 10 feet wide, and it's a long set of stairs cut out of the rock.
Yeah.
It goes up for a long ways,
Going
like
up.
hundreds of feet.
Okay, so it's going up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Up and up.
I'll grab a piece of any kind of organic material from what I can find laying around, and I'm just going to kind of just lay it on the ground, do a quick firebolt, kind of set up a big little plume of smoke, and as the smoke sort of peels up away from it, I'm going to watch which direction the smoke sort of wants to go.
Yeah, so it gets pulled definitely up the stairs.
Okay.
You can feel the draft coming from.
I nod and look at.
Slightly cooler here.
Yeah.
When you're at the bottom of these stairs.
I nod
the rest
and
of
look
the
at
room has been comfortable room temperature. The rest of the area.
So I nod and look at my companion and say, "It looks like there's definitely a way out here, or at least a way for the air to escape."
Mm-hmm. So I guess we take the and go up there then.
Yeah. So you want to grab the elf, Thorin?
Perhaps someone else should carry him as while I lead.
Okay. Well, if anyone of you want to take these books, I can carry him. Well, if you want to carry him, I don't care.
Well, the books aren't very useful, are they? They're all torn apart.
But
yes,
as you can see, they are books, right? They're not just pieces of paper added together. So they have binding.
Isn't that the definition of a book?
I guess it is. I don't know. Yeah. If you pull the cover off a book, is it still a book?
So if you're saying if I slap a bunch of pieces of paper together and put a cover and binding on, you're going to call that a book. All right.
No. What I'm thinking is,
loose sense of the word.
Someone made these, right?
Well, yeah.
So maybe we can find out who the maker is.
Probably not a bad idea. I'll take one of the remains of one of the books, kind of shake it up.
Definitely very, very old.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, that's one more count for the apocalypse. Grim said once again, that's not a bad idea. It's one of Belmira's ideas.
Okay. That's what? 3 down, 2 to go.
Yeah, doomsday clock.
I will put it in my pack.
We're now at DEFCON 4.
Yeah. So I say, well, we can go. We should go carry the poor elf bastard.
I can take him.
All right. Who's going to take the chalkboard?
What? The whole thing? I'm not going to take it.
Sure. Well, it's pretty valuable.
Are you going to use your giant strength to carry it?
I don't think I'd make it all the way out with that, but I suppose we could. Lie it on the disc.
You think if we break it apart, the magic will go away?
Probably, it usually does.
How big was that chalkboard?
7 feet.
About 7 by 7 by about 5 inches thick.
Yeah.
7 foot by 7 foot by 5 inches thick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 1,500 pounds.
Hundreds of pounds. Yeah, hundreds of pounds.
1,500 pounds worth of slate.
Well, I don't think it'd be 1,600 pounds. That's a bit of an exaggeration.
No, I bet you it's pretty close. At 5 inches thick.
Well, the slate's not necessarily 5 inches thick. The frame is, but
it's not a frame. It's just a piece of rock.
It looked like a rock.
It's not framed.
A chalkboard.
It's not a perfect shape. Like it's
okay.
not.
Well, Belmira's
It's roughly a rectangle.
Belmira's gonna pick up the elf.
Is it more than 500 pounds?
Yeah, I would say it's probably more than 500 pounds. Yeah.
Well, we'll send some people back to get it later. Um,
Well, we could make this our secret lair.
I gotta look at her. Do we need a secret lair?
Listen,
Yeah,
if you want this lair to remain truly secret, you should let the elf die.
Yeah, for when we become wanted and he wants to kill us.
Wait, what? I think when we get back, we're going to have to discuss our plans for the future and make sure we're, on the same page.
It never hurts to plan ahead.
Well, I agree certainly, but I think let's just get the elf out of here.
Mm-hmm. I carry the elf in my arms, as gentle as a dwarf can carry an elf.
So you guys can go 2 by 2 up the stairs if you like. I just want to know what order you're going in.
I'll definitely be trying to go first.
I'll go second again. I was thinking Belmera should probably go after me and then Jodat bring in the rear just in case, since Belmera is carrying the vulnerable elf at this point.
Yes, good idea.
I imagine Jodat just occasionally make sure Belmera doesn't walk too close to the wall to get hit his head.
Yeah, don't
and like staring.
That is going to kill him, Belmera. You shouldn't do that.
You ascend up and up and up, and the breeze gets cooler and cooler until it starts to get a little cold. Eventually, you enter a circular room, and this one, unlike all the other places, has been almost thoroughly excavated. In other words, it's made very little use of the natural shape of the rock, and the room is fairly circular. There is a large window, a glassless window, a hole in one of the walls that's about 5 by 5, and it's about 3 feet off the ground. There is a table in the center of this room. Let me just finish. It's a tall table in the center of this room, and there is something that looks like a looking glass. You guys have seen a looking glass before, but this thing is about 7 or 8 feet long, and its narrow end is down near the table, and its thicker end is out towards this opening in the rock wall. To the right of the rock wall, you can see there's a painting on the wall, and the painting seems to represent the immediate area. The map looks not too dissimilar from the map that Fazil showed you, but probably less detailed. Somewhere above the mountains, there is a marking that is a different color than the rest of the map. So, like, the map is to the right of the window, and just above the map is a marking, a symbol you don't recognize. This big opening, this 5 by 5 opening that this long looking glass, this huge looking glass is pointing through. At the base of it, you can see a grappling hook. As if something is like, you know what I mean? Like you're looking at the grappling hook hanging down. And
I'll walk towards it and peek over the edge.
All right, so you see long rope leading down about 100 feet to a snowy trail, which I shouldn't say trail it's a faint trail in the snow, but it's not like an existing trail, and you can see lots of animal tracks.
Stand up and take a look at the map. It is just like a paper map, right?
No, it's not a paper map. It's painted on the wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to I'll show you guys my map right now. I can't see any reason why I can't. So there you go. So that's just to kind of remind you of what's what.
Gotcha.
Is that what the map is showing?
No, the map is like an immediate area. Like, remember the map that Fazil showed you of the whole northwestern area, the colossal expanse?
Yeah,
it's like that, not as detailed. And it's literally like painted on the wall.
Okay.
So does anyone know what this is?
There's this big looking glass thing that's sitting on the middle of the table that's pointing out this
Yeah.
hole in the wall.
Just out of curiosity, I look through it without
Yeah.
adjusting it.
All right, so it seems to be focused just above the peak of some mountains.
Hmm.
You're basically looking at a piece of sky. It's just
Do-
above some peaks.
Does it look to be pointing in the direction of the mark on the map?
Sort of.
That's good enough for me.
So I'm going to look around for any kind of notes or books or notebooks or anything like that.
You do see parchment and an inkwell, but the inkwell is dry and the only parchment is blank.
Notes
Make
or
me an
books.
investigation check, though.
Sure.
Notes or books or notebooks
Okay.
Or books of notes.
or a book of note.
Or,
Oh,
A book of notes.
Written
You said
by
it
a
was
noted
investigation? 19.
all right. So you see evidence to suggest that there was more here.
Okay.
Kind of been seeing evidence of that throughout. So
Yeah. So, I mean, being a wizard who scribes and his ink is his trade, how long would it take an inkwell to sort of all dry out if just left open? Does that give me any kind of idea of how long minimum this place has been abandoned?
let's say a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, a long time.
Okay.
Like not recently at all. So,
that would be the definition of a long time. Yes.
in other words, I'm trying to. I mean, just trying to think of how precise an answer you could get. It's whatever the time it takes for an inkwell to dry. It's long past that.
Okay. Okay. How big is the looking glass?
Oh, at the far end, it's about 4 feet in diameter, and the narrow end is about an inch.
I'm starting to see
The whole thing is about 7 feet long.
Honestly, I'm starting to see Belmira's plan of using this as our own place, but it does lack some amenities.
We know it's not totally secret either.
No. Yeah, but it can be fortified. In any case,
You just have to hire more Sturges.
Maybe fair to sell Sturgis.
You have to make a contract with the Sturgis Guild.
I think Evelov sells them. So
Probably.
As I see Tolrun looking through the rope, I'll if he's done, I'll go and take a look too.
So again, you see the same thing. It seems to be focused on a piece of sky that's just above the peak of a mountain.
what time of day is it, by the way?
Oh, that's a good question. It's
nighttime?
It's actually nighttime. Yeah, it's probably
Yeah, it
about
would be like
10 o'clock at
9,
night.
10.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So again, the same thing. Only you're seeing, but it's not pointed at any stars or anything like
Yeah,
that.
but
It just seems to be pointed at a blank space of sky.
Is it locked in that position?
No, it's not locked in that position, but it's I don't know how you'd say it. It's locked in the sense that you can lock a wrench in a certain position, kind of thing. It's not like permanently locked. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could adjust it. In other words.
Yes.
Are there any numbers on the dial or anything like that?
Yes. Yeah. There's numbers that go 1 to 180, and another set of numbers that go 1 to 180.
Okay,
I suppose technically though, you wouldn't be able to read those. So let's say there's just writing.
Okay.
Well, perhaps we should rest here with the elf. Maybe we can get some of the cots, bring them up in here, and I don't think we should try to get him down that rope today. But tonight,
As I look over the whole valley, the mountainside, and the forest, can I see any light?
It's
Any
looking.
fires?
You're looking to the north. Okay. I'm going to show you the colossal expanse map here in a second. But go on.
Yeah, but are there any lights
No.
on the ground? Any
Sure.
going
So to the northeast, you could see the lights probably of the town of Cerner.
but no camping fires. No,
No.
the torches or anything like that.
Yeah, he's
No.
looking. She's looking for stuff closer. Yeah.
No. Nothing like that.
All right.
So it's definitely pointing to the north, though. Well, I'm not
Okay.
saying due north-ish.
Gotcha.
Remember, you guys entered around here.
Oh, so it's pointing toward Allure and the Lake of Reflection.
Yeah, it's actually pointing a little to the right of that.
Okay.
But again, it's nighttime, so it's hard to make out many details. And you guys, it's not like you're familiar with all those mountains or anything like
True.
that.
True. All right. So what do I say? We get some scrap wood from down below. We get some cuts up here. We can make a fire.
Where do you get the scrap wood from?
Bookshelves.
Yeah, you can certainly smash up a bookshelf and burn it. Yep.
Yeah.
If you care anything about carpentry, or maybe craftsmanship, it's a very well-made bookshelf you're destroying. But you can certainly destroy it. That does not keep you from destroying it.
I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I'm bringing it out through the weeds of the sturges, and
Yeah,
I'm
there you go.
pretty sure I'm not getting out this little hole in the wall.
I'm not lowering it 100 feet to the ground.
Yeah. So as pretty as it is, it would be some time before I could teleport it out of here. So I'm thinking firewood is our best bet.
You don't need firewood to stay warm, but you can certainly use it to start a cooking fire. Remember, this whole room, except for this area, except for the observatory area, is at room temperature. It was comfortable the entire time.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking we should stay in the observatory. That way, it's fairly defensible, and it's it's up higher. We have the high ground, and
Well, you could make that argument to your companions. I'm not compelling them. I mean,
yeah, no, that's
might
right.
want to sleep in a bed.
I am basically, yeah.
where it's comfortable. It's up to you guys.
Well, if we did set the fire in the observatory, wouldn't who's to say whoever chained this man to the cart isn't out there right now? I point paranoidly out the window.
Well, I say, yeah, good point. I walk over to the window and I pull up the rope.
Okay.
There you go. Problem solved.
Yeah, it's a good grappling hook too.
Sweet. Was it a complete loss? See, we'll keep watch, of course, but I think a fire would be not only be good for a bit of warmth, for extra warmth up here for this poor elf, but good for morale.
You guys can sleep wherever you like if you just let me know. Okay, so you're going to go back down the stairs a couple hundred feet, smash with the bookshelf, bring it back up here, set a fire, no problem.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't necessarily have to go all the way back to the bookshelves. I mean, there was some wooden stuff in the alchemy lab, right?
That's true.
Little
I'm sure. Yeah, there was a little bit of wood stuff there.
Yeah, little stools or whatever. We're not going to be able to see the bonfire, so we'll just bring it back up into there. I'll put it near the opening so that the smoke will be drawn out. Obviously, it'll cast a little bit of light in here, but it's not going to be like the fire's not going to be in the window, so it's not going to be like a beacon. So someone would kind of have to be really paying attention to see.
Oh, every enemy knows that now. I'm just kidding. You guys do discover also that the water in that little river is quite fresh.
Okay.
Drinkable. So you guys can certainly take a long rest right now.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and do that? And you can also switch over to your level 4 characters if you like at the end of your rest. I'm just going to hit the bathroom quick, and you guys can switch that over.
Take my first level in Barbarian.
Sweet.
Really?
No, I was just seeing what Rob said.
I am considering leveling up in Bard at some point, but not yet.
That was my original intent, was to level up in Bard with this, but it hasn't gone that way. I feel like I could more aptly take a level in Ranger or Druid at this point than I could Bard.
Yeah, I can actually see that.
What's your animal companion? Scoot. What type of dumb druid has a donkey as his animal companion?
The good news is we do get either an ability up or a feat. So.
Unless you change classes, right? Because is it 4 levels?
No, I think you still get. Your,
No.
That's
It
a
is. I think Steve's right because the fighter gets more ability
Yes,
score
it's a
improvements.
class feature. It's not a level feature. So yeah, if you change class, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which I don't like, but yeah.
So silly.
I can see the feat thing, but I would still think you'd be able to get the improved ability score because not like you stopped working on your ability, on your strength.
Yeah.
Or ability score.
Yes, I did.
Stop it, because I'm an idiot. All right.
Wow. Cleric gets absolutely nothing.
You get spells, right?
Yeah.
I get 1 additional 2nd level spell.
Don't you
I
get?
get Jack as well.
Oh yeah, it's 5th where I get a.
Well, I
third.
get to add 2 spells to my list. I try to do it so it makes sense. Like I did comprehend languages because that was something that my character would have been thinking about. Like, if only I had a spell to decipher this Elvish.
That's how I feel in the other game with Watcha.
Yeah.
So much of that game takes place in Orcish. I'm like,
Yeah, well, I try to have it make sense,
So in my mind, it's just like blah 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 blah.
He's speaking adult again.
But yeah.
So the evening passes without incident, other than there's a light snowfall in the morning and a little bit of snow. It's just a few flakes are dripping in the big window.
What is
little
this
puddle near
devilish stuff?
little puddle near the window. The elf who is with you seems to be breathing more steadily, but he has not regained consciousness.
Okay.
I'm the worst healer ever.
Well, I mean, what we do is that we try to keep giving him a little bit of water, not a lot, because obviously we don't want him choking. But just
Okay.
Wet his lips, put a little bit in his mouth, see if we can coax a little bit down his throat, just to kind of,
Sure.
get him drink a little bit.
I'm going to say he makes a few reflexive swallows, perhaps.
Yeah.
Of water.
Maybe instead like wet a piece of cloth and put it in his mouth so he gets the moisture or whatever. But yeah, so we'll do what we can based on that, and we'll get him to the temple as soon as we can.
Oh sure, it's okay if you put a piece of wet cloth in his mouth, but I do it. It works fine.
Only if it's work sweat.
He's using the good water. Remember that? We talked about the good water, bad water.
Good one, bad water. Yeah.
I throw Belmar.
We're gonna cover that again. We'll cover that again later.
Jada goes back to his tribe. Dad, that's good water and bad water. He was
Hear the word
I'm
of the bad
going
water.
to send Balmera back to her tribe also. I think the quickest way is out this window.
good luck. Good luck.
Make a plunging roll.
Good luck lifting a dwarf.
Get out.
Oh, my spleen.
I'm trying to defenestrate you.
So during we take watches. I'll take the last watch, I guess.
Yeah, nothing happens throughout the night other than it snows, not hard, but steady throughout the evening.
All right. So I'll keep the fire lit and to keep us warm. Because I imagine again we probably have some warm air coming up through from below, even if it's not like specifically warmed in here.
Yes.
And
It's not as comfortable as the rest of the place, but it's not. You still sleep. So
we've slept in worse conditions. But during my watch, I will spend the time with my spell book, finishing up some final touches on some spells that I've been working on.
copying spells over. Okay, cool. Yep.
Well, most of the spells that I wanted to copy over, I will have copied over, and I probably won't have time to do that. But I'm presuming with getting new spells, I would have been, working on some that I've been sort of, finishing up and feel like that they're ready to try now. Yes, that looks
that
about
actually
right.
brings up a point that we should check on. The scroll you found, is that usable by you?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. But
I was funny because I was talking to these guys about it. One of the things that out of character, I was considering at some point going up in Bard, and a Bard theoretically could use it because it's they do get lesser restoration. So.
all right, then technically speaking, just for sake of argument, Jawdat would have recognized what spell it is. You would have recognized it as an arcane spell.
I would.
I'm sorry, a divine spell. I'm sorry.
I would have told you
Divine
what
spell,
spell
yeah.
it was when I
Yeah,
read it.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
no problem. Just for sake of argument. So right now, Jawdat could use it. That's all.
Yes. And that's handy to have.
Yes, Jawdats are very handy.
Jordan's a handy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything of particular interest? Yeah, fourth is kind of a boring level.
Yeah, especially if you decide to multi-class out, because then you don't get your feat or your stat point, which, meh.
That's true.
Yeah. So,
What would you like to do in the morning? As I said, other than the snowfall.
tell them.
Yeah. Well, once we wake up, or once everyone is awake, we'll I'll have some food cooking on our fire, and as everyone starts to wake up, I'm yawning. No sign of the elf stirring, but he didn't die, at least.
So what is
Well,
plan?
That's something.
Well, we're gonna have to get him. We're gonna have to get him down the side of the cliff here. If we tie him up in the rope right, one of us should go down first. Then we can sort of tie him, lower him down. They can untie him, and then the rest can follow. It's better than bringing him back through the water. That's I don't think that's an option.
And when we get down, where are we in mountains?
Well, we've pretty much, as by my reckoning, have come more or less due east. So once we're down, we can presumably work our way back that way. I don't think we've come that far. Couldn't have been had to have been less than a mile. I'm thinking maybe 2 at most.
Yeah, the problem is that Scoot is on the other side.
Yeah. Yep.
There's no direct route back. You're gonna have to go due east kind of thing, and then back west. You're kind of on the other side of a small mountain now.
Well, right. Well, I don't think we'll go east, but maybe we'll have to go south and have it work our way around, right?
You'd have to at least go east a little ways.
Okay.
I'm not saying you couldn't
well-
do it. I'm not saying it's not hardly insurmountable, but
Yeah.
it's a couple hours at least anyway.
Yeah, and that's fine. We planned on leaving him for their bit anyway, so.
But yeah, just reminding you he's out the front and you're leaving at the back, that's all.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
So what is the plan then for exiting exactly?
Well, that's that was my plan. I see what other people think.
Well, is it really that dangerous to deal with the vines again?
Well, with an unconscious body, it is. I mean, we have to keep him above the water, not drowning, while we're fighting the vines ourselves. And we had a hard time keeping you above water when and you were fully capable.
Hmm.
I mean, I could certainly make myself big again, but that's still makes it a tricky traverse.
I mean, we save a lot of time doing that, and I don't like the idea of having to lower him down this road.
It was about 3 hours like you traveled. Like you were going through the water for hours.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's not something you care to repeat. Well, I'm just saying, desire-wise, you do as you will.
But by the same token, none of us are mountain climbers.
Well,
The dwarves are natural climbers.
I've never heard that.
None of us are fish either.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll go with the rest. My thought is that it's safer to lower him out this hole. We can easily secure him, and if we have Belmira, Jordet, and myself up here to lower him down,
Yeah,
he's not going to fall.
I would really prefer we didn't go to the water again.
Hmm.
It's about 100 feet down.
Yeah, it's not even that far. I mean, I could even make him small, make him a little lighter. I mean, if I made him smaller, then Jordet could even carry him on his back.
Shape him like a paper airplane.
Not so much, but I could make him the size of a small child.
Hmm.
I could make him the size of a small child, and then if Jordan could get down in, I don't know, say a minute or so, which, climbing down with a rope wouldn't be that hard.
No, I can do it. It's no problem.
Hmm.
What do you think about
So,
that? I mean, neither way is desirable. Let's face it. But if it were just us, I'd say go back through the water. We'll take our chances. We know what to expect. But bringing this poor bastard back through there, I mean, he's barely hanging on as it is.
I agree.
alright, so who should climb down first? You said you wanted someone to be on the bottom?
Yeah. Well,
I could
suppose
do that.
Yeah, it would make sense to have you down there.
Alright. Well, secure the hook again.
Yeah, well, the hook is still kind of secure. I just double check it and I just throw the rope down, so it
Yep.
goes down.
Yep. It's really secured to this. Like it fits over it. Like.
Okay.
Alright. So, yeah, I'm gonna nod to the rest and then start climbing down.
Okay, so I'm going to have you make me a climbing check. This is easily climbable rope, so the DC is going to be 6.
Okay.
What could go wrong?
That's,
Well,
I need
a worm,
2 climbing checks, though.
some
Okay,
worms
that's
can
a
burst out of the
20?
wall.
That would never happen. I can't imagine that.
Sploosh. Wait a second. Thud.
Alright, so yeah, that's a 20 on the first one.
No problem.
And that is a 10 on the second one.
Yep. So you land in the soft snow. It's about 8 inches deep, 10 inches deep. Still snowing. Not heavily, but steadily. Big fluffy flakes slowly floating down.
Yep. I kind of tug on the
What's
rope,
next?
step back, and wave up.
Yeah, you can see
it's
them.
fine.
It's a little windy. You're definitely at higher elevation than when you entered.
Well, yes, because we're on top of the mountain. We were under it. So, logic.
Yes,
I just meant even. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. You're right.
Elf, should we wrap him in something? It's cold out there. He only has not much.
We can wrap him in my cloak. It's a fur cloak.
Alright.
Right, we're gonna wrap the elf in the dwarf's cloak.
No. As long as he has upper body.
Better than nothing.
Hey,
And,
a guy who's unconscious and wearing a loincloth in a dungeon can't complain.
Fair enough.
Okay,
So,
as
yeah.
soon as that I kind of wrap his upper body, not his head, in the cloak, and I tie him up with the rope.
How do you mean you tie him up with the rope? Like, I want to.
Just she makes
Like
a circular loop and secures it around his neck.
Yes, and then I kick him over the head.
I tie him up
No.
with the rope, and then we leave him. F this guy.
like a
At least we didn't shock you to a bed.
Well,
I make like a noose, and I tie that around his feet, and then I kind of like a sausage all the way up, and then I tie the rope, so I have something to carry him, hold on to while I climb down.
Does anyone else imagine him being turned into a yo-yo?
No,
I don't like a sausage all the way up. What? I never wrapped
basically
rope like a sausage.
wrap him like a papoose, just bundle him up so he's like in a, completely encased.
Transporting the dead body.
Wow, are you saying you've never tied a sausage up with a rope? I mean, come on.
No, I never have.
You
Nor have I ever even seen it or heard of it being done.
It's a big thing over here in Europe.
That's one of those things I'm gonna just assume was lost in translation. I'm going to put a noose around his feet and tie him up like a sausage. What?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Basically, going to package him for transport.
Like, my brain can comprehend a manticore riding a Tarrasque fighting a blue dragon inside of a castle, but I could not picture being tied up like a sausage.
Yeah, I was like, that's lost in translation. Maybe that's a phrase in Danish.
Well, needless to say, she ties him securely and then lowers him over the edge like a sausage.
Yes.
Okay, so
around his ankles, under his arms, and that way he folds in half, and we just lower him.
Yeah.
Make me a strength check, please.
Yeah. Basically, the three of us are. Torun is already down, so there's just the three of us on the rope. So.
All right.
We'll
So
18 on my strength roll to lower him.
no problem. So you get him so he's dangling about 5 feet off the ground. So Torun, you can reach up and grab him and kind of untie him, but it takes you about 5 minutes to get all the knots and.
Yeah, I shake my head.
Round and round and tied here and tied there.
I shake my head and I start grumbling about how disrespectful it was to tie this guy up like a sausage.
All you need to do is untie the one rope that he's attached to. Leave him bundled because we need to carry him. So just leave him like that.
But the problem, I assume you tied him to the rope that's on the grappling hook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you untie that.
Well, you have to untie him from that, or you can pull him back up again.
Yeah.
But the
I am
bundling
completely untying him.
Who's going down next?
You couldn't leave him as a weight at the bottom to try and steady the rope.
All
All right, so who wants to make the next climb?
I can lower you Unless you want to climb.
Yeah, I'll go down last. I want to see if we can save this grappling hook.
Okay. Belmera, you're next, or Jadet's next?
Okay. What's the climbing DC?
DC is 6.
Okay.
Climbing
I go
is
down.
athletics.
Okay, I'm down.
Okay. You climb down. Yep, you're in the snow next to Talrune and this elf.
Why did you tie him up?
Let me guess. Let me guess. It was you who tied him up.
Yes, and I did it well. He was tied up like a dwarven sausage. It's a thing we have.
Let's shake my head.
It's an expression. Look it up.
That's it.
But why did you tie him up? I cover up the elf with the fur coat so he doesn't.
Hung like a dwarven sausage.
Okay, Jada, you want to climb down, or you just want to forego the roll and jump?
That's a tough one.
Oh,
Actually, I'm standing there with my hand out, just letting it collect snow and staring at this because that's not natural.
it's very gentle, very pretty.
Yeah, and then it turns wet and it's cold and it's miserable. But yeah, I'll climb down.
You realize after a minute you're able to fashion it into like a sphere if you want.
Ooh.
What's Toru's armor class?
16.
I was say, does a 17 hit you?
Critical hit.
All
Critical
right, yeah,
hit.
I'll start climbing down.
Sure.
killed
So
him.
the DC is 6. I need an athletics check, please.
Hiya! I rolled a natural 1.
On the first roll or second roll?
First one.
Okay. So you can make me a dexterity save to try and grab the rope as you fall.
Rope burn. I rolled a natural 1.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
dead serious.
All right. Well,
One
fortunately, you're
is,
falling into snow. So,
How
You're gonna
long
take-
would you say I'm falling for?
Well, it's 100 feet.
Do I see this happening?
Do I have enough time to make a reaction?
Yeah.
Well, that's what the reaction was. The grab. But if you mean like if you have a reaction ability, then yeah, like Featherfall, you could certainly cast, for instance, if you had that.
Yeah,
He's a
clerics,
cleric. Not so much.
clerics don't get that.
How far up is he again?
100 feet!
Okay, I
And
can.
closing
I
fast.
flung my feet over the edge and forgot to grab the rope.
You're falling? Wait, I needed to grab something before I did that.
All right.
Well,
Now I'm watching him. Do I obviously see this happen?
Yeah, he gets about 3 feet, and then whoop,
All right.
wait,
Well, as then I'm gonna use a bonus action,
all right.
and I'm gonna Misty Step.
Sell me
And-
on your plan.
Yeah.
So,
Basically,
your plan.
well, this is my plan because I don't want to see him die. So I'm gonna Misty Step out and grab
away
him.
so you can't see.
No, I'm gonna Misty Step out. To basically grab him,
Yes.
and I'm gonna try the spell that I haven't tried before, which is levitate,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try and do that.
What's the
Actually,
weight
you know-
limit on?
500 pounds.
Hey.
I'm not
So Jada, you fall for about 2 feet before Grim appears beside you. There's a little popping sound of air, and he grabs you, and you start slowly, ever so slowly, descending downwards. Now, you could easily grab the rope to stop your descent if you like.
Well, actually, with levitate you have control over. It's not like featherfall. So as I grab him,
I'm just saying the combined weight's like
Oh, yeah.
502 pounds or something. So,
500
you
pounds
could
in
easily stop it by grabbing the rope. Like it takes no effort at all.
So basically, with levitate, we can descend 20 feet every 6 seconds.
If you like, yep.
That is the slowest fall ever.
Well, more. I mean,
So,
more.
so I'm holding on to. Yeah. You need to cut back on the dwarven sausage.
Arms and legs wrapped around you like a little Klingon, pencil clinger.
Yeah, and so I kind of help lower him to the ground. Oh. I kind
The
of
orange giant and Jordat can fly.
Yeah.
That wasn't him. That was me.
Oh.
Ow! I think I hurt my. I think I pulled something in my shoulder though.
So aside from some chilly feet, Jada, you land safely.
Yay.
But
I just want to check one.
I got to check something too. This is just for a laugh. I was going to do D-force into the snow, so that was the falling damage you were going to take.
Okay.
Curious.
The levitate lasts for like 10 minutes. So what I want to do is, and I can move up and down pretty much.
Yep.
So I wanted to go back up, and I wasn't planning on casting the spell, but since I have it, I'm going to go up and get the grappling hook.
Yep.
And bring it down.
Sure.
Damn it, we got so little out of this. I want something.
It's very solid. It's about 10 pounds like itself,
Yeah.
and all the rope there. It's a good. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I even if I can't hold it, I would just like toss it down.
No, you
like,
can. I just mean like it's. I just meant like
Yeah.
it's solid. Like it's a really good grappling.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I definitely bring it down with me, and I kind of only because I can. I kind of continue to hover like maybe a foot above the ground for a little bit.
You cross your arms and glower over them.
Just no. I just kind of hover, I just kind of float there just to show off as I brush myself off and roll up the rope. It's just a show off thing.
Yeah, I'm getting visions of the Batman vs Superman trailer where Superman's floating above the people.
Yeah. It's with my and you have to see my coat is kind of floating up behind me.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
With the big black hat on.
I think the slickness of the snow it loosened my grip.
No doubt. And then I finally, as I feel this spell begin to wane, I just kind of slowly lower down to the ground.
Okay.
Well, let's get this poor fella back to Crossmeet then.
So, which way is that we need to go?
I kind of look up in the sky and gauge the sun and say, well, as the raven flies, we need to go that way, but we're not going up that cliff. So let's
based on the map, we have to.
You
guys are roughly where the pointer is right now.
Yeah.
So we have to make our way east.
Yeah, we'll head off a little bit to the south and then work our way around. Shouldn't take us more than a few hours.
So who is carrying the elf?
Palmera.
Well, I think two of us can pitch in. I mean,
Okay, if I'm gonna tie him up again in the fur cloak,
Yes.
and then I'm gonna carry him.
Okay. So I mean, he's emaciated, and he's not terribly big anyway. But even still, after trudging through the snow for a while, it's not going to take long before that weight wears on you. Even a dwarf. I mean, carrying that for half an hour, that's a lot of weight on your arm.
What I was going to say,
So-
We can pass him back and forth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. So you guys
I know
sort
what
of
I'll
trade
do.
off. Okay.
I was going to say I'll make just a I will conjure a simple travois, just basically just a little frame of stick, basically a
I know
frame
what
of
a travois
sticks.
is. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just so we can lay him on it and then drag it.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
so I'll just
Wouldn't that actually be more difficult in 10 inches of snow? Because we
No.
would start to collect snow.
No, because you lift
It depends on the density of the snow.
Yeah, it should go on top of the snow.
Yeah, it probably will.
Yeah, because basically you're holding it like at one end that you're holding it off the ground, and then the back end is just sort of dragging behind you. So
Right,
Yeah.
but if you... Right, never mind. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You'd probably be fine. Unless it was melty snow, you'd be fine.
Yeah,
That's someone who's sledded enough times.
very wet snow. Then it would sink in.
So it takes you about 2 or 3 hours to make your way back around to the other side.
Mhm.
where you left Scoot. And again, even though you know it's there, the illusion of a flush rock wall is perfect until you get to within about 15 or 20 feet of it, when the illusion reveals itself to you.
Yeah, especially when we know what we're looking for now. So
Scoot is none the worse for wear and has dug a patch of snow away that he can eat at the grass underneath.
okay. And we will take.
I believe you had a cart with him too. Didn't you bring a cart with him?
We did.
Okay.
Clever us. And yeah, so we will take 10 to 20 minutes to take a. Actually, we'll take an hour, just take a rest, and give us time to get the elf secured in there. I have a blanket in my gear. I'll just put it on top of him to we'll bundle him up as best we can.
Yep. Okay.
And yeah, so we'll. Well, with prestidigitation, it says like I think it can like warm food and stuff like that. So what I'll probably do is I'm just gonna grab a rock, maybe buy a small maybe something the size of a potato or something like that, and I'm gonna put it between my hands and as I concentrate it, you just see some steam rising from a little bit of moisture that's left on it, and it gets fairly warm, not like scalding, but like a warm bread fresh out of the oven, and I'm going to tuck that into the blanket that I have on him, and just kind of there's a little bit of extra heat.
Excellent. So he responds to it by adjusting his body such to accommodate it, but he doesn't say anything other than that.
Yeah. He never does.
All right, so you get him all secured and warm, and then you start trudging your way back through the snow to the south and then to the west. And again, several more hours pass until eventually you come out onto the King's Coast Road and just north of the Godstone, where there is a well and this big stone with lots of religious symbols on it, and also a few lean-tos here and there. This is the Godstone marks about, if you're on foot walking to Cerner, it's about a day's walk marker. It's up here, not down here, and there's lots of lean-tos and things like that you could use as a stopover camp if you need it.
Okay.
All right, so when you're back at the Godstone, you can turn south to Crossmeet or north to Cerner,
I guess we'll just keep heading back for Crossmeet.
head all the way to the north.
Yeah,
Okay.
assuming we still have plenty of time. It's been, say, 3 hours and then 6. So, assuming we left first thing in the morning, we should still have some daylight. So.
All right. So by the time you're on foot though. By the time you return to Crossmeet, it's about an hour before dark.
Okay.
As you approach the town, coming from the north, you see that there's something not right.
Oh, it's on fire.
There's people. No, it's not on fire. But there are people running and shouting, and they all seem to be heading toward the dock area.
Ah, crap! The golem got out.
Yeah, a giant dragon above the town.
There's trouble.
Hey, look! It's those adventurers. Get them!
Must be another pig.
Okay, why doesn't someone store this guy in our house since it's close? Yeah, come from the north. And the rest of us head over to where this commotion is.
Well, I think if we're going to the docks, we can probably go past the temple. So I think it's probably best we bring them there.
Are people
Right, but I'm
running
just going to head to
like
the
in
docks
panic?
because it looks like something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, people are running and freaking out. You can hear screams and shouts coming from the dock area.
Okay.
Yeah, like the town is in a panic.
Okay, let's get down.
Yeah.
And you guys are up here, somewhere up here.
Yeah. So
Your house is right here. If you want to go there, that's where you are.
Where's the temple?
The temple's
off the
there's a temple there.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me click on the map here. Yeah.
Let's
I was gonna say, yeah. Let's just we're gonna take. Well, my plan is to take him with us, and we'll just go on our way to the docks. We'll just go past the Church of Joaquin, and we'll drop this guy off.
Okay.
If you want to, if Torun, if you want to run ahead of us, that's fine.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna run ahead and take the most direct route.
Because this guy's in bad shape. I want to get him someplace where his people can watch him.
Yeah.
Rather than just dump him in our house. You know.
So what is the group doing? Are you heading down here and then back up here? Or?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we
that's
have
the
to do that.
and then we turn around the tree up on high road.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would be going Workers' Way, because if you go down to the free, that seems faster.
So you're heading down this way.
Yep.
As you head down, you notice that Volcrum's shop is closed up, even though there's still daylight.
Huh.
The 3 is closed, and the door is locked.
Huh.
You see, in fact, no one around except the occasional person just running. You can hear lots of screams and shouts coming from the east. You turn and head up this road, and the closer you get to the docks. Remember, this town is about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile wide. So the closer you get to the docks, the louder and louder the screams and shouts get. When eventually you meet the Church of Joaquin, the doors are closed tight. So you're standing outside the Church of Joaquin. About a couple hundred, maybe 300-400 yards to the west of you, you could hear screaming and shouting, but because of the buildings and stuff, you can't really see what the cause is yet.
Okay.
You're standing outside the Church of Joaquin. You've got this elf in a cart, and the doors to the church are shut tight. What would you like to do?
I'm moving ahead to the docks.
I'm gonna go knock on
I'm
the door of the
assuming
church.
they're taking care of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down Merchant's Stoneway.
Okay. All right, you're running down there. Again, you see people running and shouting and screaming.
What are they shouting?
Help, danger, look out, get away, things like that. And some of it is a lot of it is just intelligible screams of terror, fear. Joddat, what are you doing?
Someone said Kraken, you know.
Heading towards the docks also.
Okay, so after a while, the doors to the church open a crack, and you see Joaquin. I'm sorry, not Joaquin. You see I'm sorry. You see Eppin poke his head out. Joaquin herself appears.
You reeled it now.
Eppin pokes his head out and says, "We cannot take anymore. We're full. I'm sorry."
Full of what?
There's no more room. We can help no more people. And he closes the door. Boom.
All right.
Okay, as people are running by me, I'm gonna take someone that looks feeble.
Okay.
Small child, preferably.
Where is this going?
Someone looks easily muggable. I don't know.
Start beating on random people as they run by.
And as the person runs by, I grab and kind of pull him or her in.
Okay.
What's going on?
So I'm going to say it's a teenage boy, about 15, and he's got a look of abject terror on his face, and he points to the west. He's like, and I'm going to leave it right there. We'll pick her up next week. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.
Au revoir.